Are you guys ready up there? Okay, just give me a second. All right. All right, quiet on the set.
Hold up. I wasn't ready.
5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you guys ready up there? Okay, just give me a second. All right. All right, quiet on the set.
Ow! Peace and blessings of the Most High, the boundless omniverses, multiverses, triverses, dual verses, and universes be upon you all in earshot and eye shot of the God. It's your friendly neighborhood, Pharaoh Rising. And welcome, Pharaoh Rising, Chef C. Dwamu Tefamun, and welcome to another episode of Revision Radio, where we seek, analyze, and break down right knowledge, wisdom, overstanding, right thinking, right reasoning, right action from the third eye point of view. Thank you all for joining us. I got a piece of glitter in here somewhere. I see it right here. So I was doing some incense and all that. You know, we got a little get together tomorrow. Got a festival and whatnot. So, got me looking like I just came from Club 112 where the players dwell. You know what I'm saying? What's up, family? Peace and blessings. What up, gods? Gods and goddesses. The incarnations of life made flesh. What's happening? Here go say, was popping, was popping, was popping, was popping. Yo, why the homies ain't ever do that? Why they could? If whoever do it, I want my PC. I'm telling y'all, was popping, say was popping. Ow, hey, Raul back, Stilo, what's up? On deck, yeah. Oh, listen, I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the link in the chat, God. And you come on up. Miss Infinity, right back, goddess, from across the pond yonder. We appreciate you, goddess. Okay, Al on deck. I saw what's up, God. Mark Hammond, right back. The Ferris sent always on deck. Yeah, I'm putting the link in the bio. We're gonna put the link in the bio in the Why you say that how I am? What happened? Hold up, goddess. What you mean? What happened? What you said? What happened? What you mean? I'm good. You know, I would think we up. We breathing. That's the first level of this. You wake up. Well, let's say Nakuk, Tawu Tak or Tawu Kum, the K Pa. We said Tawu Kum, but Tawu Tak, right? Tawu Tak, Lehe, Parawu, Shalel Hayu, or thanks for the breath of life. Like that's the first thing we say when we wake up. Thank you for the breath of life. And every opportunity, you know, you get on after that, man, everything is good. I put the link there if you ready to rock. This is Freestyle Friday. You know, we coming off the hip. You know what I mean? By the blessings upon the thaw, I am no longer in them streets. When I was in them streets, I had what was called holy hoodies. Holy hoodies. See, people don't know what holy hoodies. So in Brooklyn, New York, we run around. We had champion hoodies. And it's like a dress code. It's a uniform. Champion hoodies and Timbs came with the, you know what I'm saying? They started doing the Yankee fitteds, Timberlands, you know what I'm saying? And fatigue jackets and champion hoodies because it got the little kangaroo pouch right there. So But I wasn't never one of them peoples that you got to worry about pulling out no weapons on. I'm shoot right through the hoodie. Okay. Holy hoodies. I had a mad holy hoodies. I ain't pulling nothing out. Anyway, it's about whatever's going on, God, whatever y'all want to build on. Freestyle Fridays, whatever's on your mind, your heart. I'm sending invites to the peoples. I put the link inside. You know, yeah, Goddess. We know you get us hype. You got us gassed up now. We like the sisters and brothers is listening to us across the seas. We got to do right. For the Lucci. Peace and blessings, beloved. What's going on? Hey, yo, you a scripper, beloved? Mr. Beefy? What's up, man? You over there getting them ones? Where them dollars at? Where them dollars? Let me find out. Mr. Beefy over there for the Lucci, a.k.a. baby oil. You know what I'm saying? That would be my name on some stage. If I was stripping, I get the physical right. If I was stripping, my name be baby oil. Don't even just call me Bo from now on. Bo, baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Goddess, why you said what happened? What made you ask if I was all right? Mama, this Goddess say, are you doing? She hope you're doing well. Nah, God, all right. Yeah, we here, y'all. You know, we on deck. So, like always, you know, we gotta read our word for the day from my cool. I like to use this. You know, it's always a reminder that we're not only tribe as so far as the in the African diaspora, but also that we're tribe. Also, the indigenous position is still standing. Bob ain't never say that we no longer Yamasi or any of those things. Matter of fact, he said all of those things come together under Sabed, under the Sabaeans. So it said independence since June 26, 1982. And you got 83 and 90, 93 and 99. 1992. So you got the number 215. These are United Nations file numbers. Yeah, we good with all the crazy, all the crazy stuff that's been going on with the slanderers out there. Listen, remember, this is for the rebirth of the what? Elite few. I got one of the books that say it right here because I've been on my super spiritual stuff. So, look at this shit. Remember the inside covers looking like this, y'all? I got to do it like that because of the light. You see that? The rebirth for the elite few. Remember that? So it's not for everybody, y'all. It's not for everybody. Matter of fact, these are the sacred sciences. These are the sacred sciences. We appreciate you guys for the love and care. You know what I'm saying? I seen the text, I've been running around all day, y'all. Matter of fact, I ain't go to sleep till 5 o'clock this morning, and then I was up at 10, and I ain't stopped moving yet. That's a fact. Look, I'm here for the people. You know what I mean? Like it's like we doing the service, and it's real. It's real, bro. I had to read. Everything for the studio was down because we in a whole nother mode, But I appreciate y'all. But I'm gonna send you a kite on that, Stilo. You already know that. What's today? Today's the 1st October. Did anybody do the 30-day affirmation visualization tone joint that I put up yesterday? Yo, y'all gotta record that, write it down, put that work in. The 30-day joint. Yeah, y'all gotta get that. Bible gave that out since the 90s. So it shows you that he expected the whole community to be successful. Because you have some that say, oh, he was just creating his own kingdom for himself, for him to be successful, and then living off of all the people that wasn't successful, all the poor and the ignorant and all that. No, he was giving us the tools for everybody to be successful. Rahul Bat family, Rahul Bat, Ronald Newton, Miss Infinity 9, Stilo, Scientist, Oral Plumber, Alan Hassan, Federucci, Rahul Bat. I'm giving a shout out. We know we're doing roll calls, man. Yeah. Rahul Bat with the brother Mark Hammond, Rahul Bat, the Ferris set. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for rolling with us. So today's bill, again, I don't put these together. I just open up to the damn page of the date. You know what I'm saying? So today's joint from the Revolutionary Daily Thoughts is from Divine Bradley. He says the best way to predict the future is to create it. Can you imagine a world where ma'at is the norm, where it is spoken and enacted by Africans towards each other and those deserving our respect, with our ancestors' precision and reverence? Can you imagine us being brought back in line with honorable traditions where love is truly reciprocal and altruistic? Can you imagine a world where being spiritual is a way of life, not a silly masquerade? Can you imagine a people who again form a timeless circle without rupture? Can you imagine a people who act as if being civil to each other defines them as a civilization? Can you imagine a time and place without predators, without prey, where generosity and kindness are not taken for weakness, and where selfishness and meanness are not prized aspirations? In this time and place, our sisters shed more tears of joy than pain, and brothers practice for peace and not war. Here, our righteous rage has been satisfied, and war against Africans is never uttered for fear of the terror it would unleash on the fool. Can you imagine a world where truth is common and lies disbelieved because of their source, where African people can again be whole? If it is to happen, we will have to do it. Nothing which brought us to this nadir will change on its own. Things will only change through the will and force of those who recognize evil and its gluttonous, malevolent, jealous intent, and who firmly believe in the righteousness of their cause. I am imagining an African world into reality. That's beautiful. That's that. Listen, we have the tools. That 30-day visualization. Let's start visualizing the reestablishment of Nuwapi, of Tamaray, one structure at a time, one piece at a time. We could do it, y'all. We could bring it. We could help manifest it. We have the ability. I'm looking up because he used a word, and I want to look it up. Nadir. The lowest point in the fortunes of a person or organization. Well, sure, we coming out of our nadir, right? We done reached the lowest point in the fortunes of a person or organization. We getting up out of this nadir, my dear. We out of this. But yeah, we got to visualize the attack because everything start here. And that's why they take our brains, they take our minds from us first. It's the first thing they want to do is take your mind from you. You got to fight for your mind. Again, October 1st. Let's go to the next one. This is from Baba Maku. Of October 1st. And it says, Baba says, say grace before each spoonful, not the whole plate. Basically, appreciate every piece of your blessings. Say grace before each spoonful, not the whole plate. See, because you got people, they want you to think that Baba's a monster. They want that. The monsters want you to think that Baba's a monster. Because you heard the joint I read yesterday on insanity. That's these people. They want you to think that the God is what they are, and we can't have it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Book that I just read is the you got one was the Nuwapian calendar, daily word from Maku. What the God said. You got a question as pertaining to the nature of agreeable and disagreeable, and within us as human beings was raised learning of the teachers of the master teacher, and his teachings have had a major impact on my life. Okay, well, what's the question, God? Oh no, I didn't upload the I'm gonna just share the link. I'm gonna see if I can upload the actual documentation to the thank you, I appreciate that, to the Sacred Space group on Facebook. Yeah, we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna take care of that. We're gonna do it as soon as possible because it's already October 1st, and we want everybody to get that 30 days in. 30 days. Baba gave it in the 90s for everybody. So when you see a lot of brothers and sisters that's in the tribe and they're super successful, and you be like, damn, what's up with this nigga? Who he connected with? They part of those classes where Baba was giving us the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need to tap into higher frequencies. These low vibrational frequencies are running rampant. Look, as we get close, listen, remember this. Let's keep this in mind too, God, that they've opened vortexes, unofficial, like untraditional, not just universal. They forced open doorways in space and time, like the CERN's project, like the hydrogen atom collider and things of that nature. They've done that all over the place. So Baba said basically they're opening the doors for interdimensional beings, intergalactic beings, and spirits, ghouls, goblins, and everything else. It's like, go look at Ghostbusters when that prick that worked for the government came and shut the containment unit down. That's what's going on right now. And it's also going on. What's scary is it's also happening outside of the colliders and those doorways that they're ripping open. It's happening in the churches. It's happening in the temples, the synagogues. It's happening in the masjids. Those are doorways that they're opening up. They don't understand that. And the forces is jumping in people. Yeah, man, it's a scary thing. But Baba just Rahul Hani McCoy. So he just talking about, Baba said, don't pray for the whole plate. Pray for every spoon. Appreciate everything. Father Lucci, I wait for you to finish to ask the question, God. I sent my links out to the people. I put the link inside the chat already, Stilo. So I don't know what's up. But being that Baba just brought up saying grace, I'm gonna read this for y'all. This is out of the Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti. And this is the prayer before you eat, because we got to start protecting everything we do. So, the prayer before you eat. As we sit down at this table in our place, we ask the Supreme Being, Kansu Nefer Hotep, to show us grace, give us nourishment and health, and keep us safe from evil. And we are grateful to the Supreme Beings, our ancestors and keepers and protectors, for this meal we're about to eat, which they have provided, to nourish our bodies and souls and give us strength and health. So before we eat that which you have provided, we would like to give thanks. May you protect us from illness and disease, nourish us, and keep us healthy and strong. For this, we are ever grateful. Anun, Amun. He said Anun, Atun, Atun, Amun. So, okay. Well, you know, like, yeah, that right there, sister. This is not even this. I can't even call this a scroll. This is an instructional manual. This is the science of the universal forces. When you look at them talk about the law of attraction, the law of attraction is a subnote of a subnote of a subnote of what's in this. You know what I'm saying? So this give you all the 9 laws and rules and regulations that the universe is composed of. One of which, like when I read the thing yesterday, Bob was like, this always works because it's universal law. So he's like, I'm not just giving you no fly by night thing. I'm not just giving you certain, try this. Like, nah, this is gonna work. I know it's gonna work because it's universal law. It's what happens. Yeah, guards. So what's up? Who out there with me? Who jumping on the line? Where the people's at? Always harass me, act like they want to get it in. What's up? Let's get it in. Friday night, Friday, Freestyle Fridays. Let's go. Holla at me. Let's talk about it. Don't act like that. Anybody got some jewels to pass on to the people? Anybody want to build on any subject matter? Got any questions? Excuse me. How y'all feel about that situation? Matter of fact, let me bring that up too. A lot of brothers and sisters you know, I bigged up the brother Tahaka Bay yesterday, because he definitely did an excellent job with the flip mode squad on Jacob York. He did that. He got busy on that. But I just want to clarify something to the family. That information we've been putting out for years. That information been floating around for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? 18, 19 years. You know, I don't know what have either we haven't been doing our job, or the people have just been ignoring it. You know, maybe they've been ignoring it because it's coming from us and they perceive us as being biased. And I appreciate the fact that the brother is trying to be impartial. But to the brothers and sisters that's just, you know, they're going too far star with the celebration of Tahaka, I want to say this. We're the ones that's sending the information in, because we've been collecting it and putting it out for years. Okay, the brother asking, the question is, with all that is going on in the world, with this transgender homosexuality promotion, why would you say this is being pushed into the world more blatantly today? Well, that's not a simple question. And I'm gonna tell you why, because there's a science test to that. The social engineering campaign being used by the people in power to push, what do you call, where's my other book? I can't find my 33 laws, 33 commandments, because Bible speaks of it in there specifically. Well, anyway, the social engineering campaign. Yeah, we got it. What's going on, beloved? How you been? Rahul back to the Elder Mugdal Silos Congas. The link is in the joint, beloved. If you want to get in and add on and share your infinite wisdom to the people. So when you're dealing with the promotion of homosexuality, right, and transgender and that whole trans thing, first of all, you have to understand that the Mukasu, the Europeans, they are, out of all the races, they are the feminine race. Their race is feminine. Okay, let's say that. That's why every other race is naturally attracted to them, no matter how much negative they do, because they're the feminine race, right? Boom. Second, gotta say it, the homosexuality is a natural thing. We deal with natural nature. There's a difference between the natural occurrence of homosexuality and the social engineering campaign of homosexuality, transgender, etc., etc. Their agenda is neutralizing reproduction. If you take it back to the 90s, the agenda was what? The issue was teenage pregnancy, right? So at the same time, the minorities were getting pregnant and was reproducing on an enormous rate. The European was not. Matter of fact, if you want to think about it, when they teenage girls, they so happy that they have children that the MTV started a whole show about the teenage pregnancies and all that, because they just wanted to come up there and spread that around. But you're all throughout the world, everybody sees and knows that the Europeans are no longer reproducing. This is one of the things that Francis Cress-Welsing was talking about that racism and that whole system that they set up is based on genetic survival. So now they're not reproducing, right? And so they need us to stop reproducing. So they push the agenda. So you have Ricky Lake and Jerry Springer, and you had Jenny Jones. Hold up. I'm gonna stop because the goddess is on deck and she coming all the way from across the water. We're gonna rebuild on that in a second. Add on, goddess, rattle back. What's happening with you? Talk to the people. Wherever you want to go, we following. What's up?
Rahul back, Rahul back. I wanted you to continue answering the question for the brother. And
okay. All right,
Because
no problem.
I have a different topic I wanted to ask a question about.
Oh, nah, but listen, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna double back. We here all night, right?
No, I finished what you were saying for the
All right,
brother.
okay. Let me finish what I say. Okay, so dealing with, like I said, it's a social engineering situation, and then campaigning in order to stop our reproduction. You see what I'm saying? So, but this ties back to the initial assault on the master teacher and on the doctrine when Brother Paulite and the dude Cokehead Sarah, the little short leprechaun brother with the habit, and they were attacking Sodom misinterpreted. And Baba was trying to straighten it out then to show us that they were programming us to attack homosexuals and using a religious banner to do it when Sodom, the story, has nothing to do with homosexuality. That's a religious campaign. Why did they put that inside our minds? Boom. Because of the science of the gatekeepers. That's what this going back to. The gatekeepers that have the ability to see where the different vortexes are. They wanted us to push them away. And the master was like, no, we got to teach the gate. But there's a difference. He says, dealing with the gatekeepers of homosexuality, recognizing the natural aspects of it, is not about the campaign of the so-called LGBTQ, elemental FOP, not the letters people. It's not what we're saying. So, and if you study nature, you have the cold, the hot, you're going to have the warm. You're going to have, everything has this neutral, this midpoint. You have the proton, you have the electron, you got the neutron. That's nature. We deal with natural nature. But nature is always balanced. And when it's not, things get smashed off the planet. That's my answer in its entirety, goddess. You can add on, you can move someplace else, wherever you want to do. It's Friday. It's Freestyle Friday. Come off the head.
Okay, wow. So my question, I'm actually glad that the Mukdaltat, is it? How do you say that for the
the elder?
Hello, I'm glad that he's in the room because the question I had, I'm hoping he can help build on it. But it's in reference to darkness, should I say, like the shadow self. So in the beginning, when I first came, and I remember Pops always teaching us that Makasu, they would make dark, evil, all of that stuff. And you hear a lot of people now talking about the shadow self, the darker side, this, that, and the other. But it's almost like it's a disagreeable part of you. But from what I recall, Baba does not teach that. And I remember listening to a very old tape of Baba teaching. I think it was with the brothers. I don't know if they were in the lodge, but he was basically saying that he was talking about Masonic teachings about darkness and about connecting with the real self and various sciences behind that. But I was wondering if the elder would be able to build upon that, because I think it's really important to, when you connect with the true self, it really is going beyond the mind, is going into the deeper parts of who you are. And that's where you will find all of your innate abilities, all of the things that you discuss. So I was just wondering if the elder could build upon that. And because a lot of the old teachings are teachings that really he's trying to remind us of now. And so, yeah, that's really what my question was. I wish I could remember exactly what tape it was, but it was a class that he was, I think it was with the brothers particularly, and he was talking about some Masonic teachings. And obviously there must be some elder brothers who obviously are part of the lodge and might be able
a lot of the I don't know if the brother will be able to speak from that point of view of the lodge, you know what I'm saying, because the lodge is still open right now. But I could just dealing with the idea of our origin. You know, we come from darkness. You know, Baba always, like you said, he spoke from the fact of that when creation occurred, existence happens before creation and darkness happens before light. You know, and definitely they on a campaign to make us look at darkness as a disagreeable. However, when Baba's describing, because he there's actually a Pacharak dealing with the shadow persons, right? When he's describing the shadow persons and the disagreeable, he's talking about people who feed off of those negative six ether energies and generate it on a regular basis. Those shadow persons who never bring in energy of agreeable energy, never bring in positive energy to the equation, but always sitting there with depressive, stressful, always got all kinds of problems, always with the slander. He's talking about a certain nature of people. Naturally, he's saying shadow because we know that there's no nighttime. And us being sons, each one of us, be it an embodiment and our own literal sun because of the solar plexus. I don't think we really grasp that. But yes, each one of us a sun. Each one of us have shadows. I see both of y'all. Any one of y'all want to add on to it? Halif, you want to add on to what the goddess was asking, dealing with darkness, or even the elder Silos is here. He can add on because she specifically. Let me add you to the stream too. And any one of y'all welcome to add on. We here.
But I will back.
Right back, beloved.
Sorry.
Okay.
If I may, I think you're referring to a video that Pop did on the land when he spoke about the Freemasonry science, the science behind masonry, excuse me, and about the light casting a shadow. That's different than darkness. We have triple darkness. I think he mentioned in the video, and I kind of like reason that out also. When you deal with darkness, triple darkness is not a shadow, because light casts a shadow. This is another existence, a subsistence. It's all, I always look at it like it's all the possibility of anything that can exist. It's just like music. Silence in music is all the tones are there, but it's caught up in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? It's chaotic. It's caught up in that vacuum until you're able to grab it, refract it, and then it becomes a tone. But the possibility of anything to exist exists in darkness, what we call blackness, darkness, silence, all the possibility of anything that can exist. Just like what they call, for instance, the black race. The black race has proven that any possibility of anything to exist on this planet comes through the black race. The technology, knowledge, civilization, I mean, you name it. You can always trace it back. But that's, in masonry, that was a video that Pops on the land that he spoke about, that darkness and light casting the shadow. That's different. Now, when you spoke about the shadow self, I read up on a lot of that. Matter of fact, I do a lot of podcasts about the shadow self. Those are what we call it's also part of the light casting the shadow, like the moon. It's the moon energy. We have both sun energy and moon energy in our body that seems to wrap around. It keeps wrapping around. And what that is, it creates a feeling, neurons, and a shadow self, it's just the shadow that's cast by the light. So let's say if the light in the heart energy center, you have the light of love. That's the light. It casts a shadow of grief. You see, because once you lose something that you love, that's where grief sets in. Grievance. So that's the shadow self. It's not that it's bad. It's just sometimes that grief, that when it sets in and you have a loss of something you love, sometimes that if you balance it with appreciation and get, that's when you have the good memories about someone you lost or something that you lost. That's how you balance that thought out, that feeling out. But that's the difference between the shadow self. I mean, this just is what, I've learned, and this is what I've been taught, by a master teacher. And he keeps teaching this over and over and over again, but in different forms, you know what I'm saying? In different forms. Anyway, I hope I answered that. I mean, because that was a question you asked, right? Correct, sister?
Towel, I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to find the tape.
Yeah, the title, even the title. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
even
what
the
was
title,
it?
yeah, because it was literally
Listen,
a tape of a class.
I'm
with
sorry to
with
jump in, but I'm gonna run off a few of those classes, the names, right? So
Okay.
it's gonna be some noise in the background. I'm outside in public. The names are the hidden light, is God light, invisible world, um, who knows the secrets. These are all classes those were the classes where he was referencing the Freemasonic doctrine, the whole concept of uh, the ritual in the craft, where there's a point where you're blindfolded, and when you're blindfolded, the point is that it's consciousness, right? It's like how he explained on the Mysteries Mad tape when he talked about in the beginning when God created the heavens and the earth, and he said that the earth was without form and void. It said that void is the space uh where the light would have to click on. Or that void is that space where it's the consciousness that is
I say it's
is
a
is
subconscious, but yes,
right, because you got those three,
it's a
you got the
submerged
different
type of
levels of
consciousness.
right. So you what you said, McDowell, was that's exactly it, because um the light, it casts a shadow. He's not talking about the darkness in regards to the triple darkness and the
Right.
shadow being right. There's a reading that hasn't been released. It's called Human Gases, and in it he
What?
references the four
Say that again.
human
Say that
gases.
again. Okay.
Human
Human
gas?
gases. Yeah, that's the name of the reading. In fact, it's on YouTube, and he references when you're deceased, or when you go through the transformation from the physical to the spiritual, that there's four parts of your being. Remember, we're composed of nine different there's nine different, from birth to
I
death.
remember
You
that. I
have the
Different
remember that.
different
right,
I
bodies
remember
and
that.
stuff. The different bodies, the
right. You
plasmatic
have
you, the
right.
ether,
That's
the
the
soul,
plasmatic you. The
yeah.
plasmatic you is the shadow you, and he explains that when the these forces leave out of your body, right? It's the spiritual you, the soul you, the etheric you, and the shadow you, which is your plasma. These are the four different. He explained this in the also in the Sons of the Green Light in the Ancient
Right.
Mystic Order of Melchizedek, because he talks about the casual body, he talks about the exoplasma body, he talking about the different forms of bodies that we have that are encased inside of our physical. It's like how he explained with the egg. Remember, he said the egg, and he
Yeah,
said you
yeah,
have
yeah.
the albumin,
The
and then
yolk.
you have the yolk,
That's
right?
right.
If
So
I
the
may,
shadow,
yeah. If I may, just before I lose this thought, that again, the shadow self, or there's a point that you gonna have to face your guilt, your shame, your grief, all of that starts showing up at the time when if you notice. I don't know if anybody has seen anybody transition. Before they transition, they start speaking. They start, and it's like the whole world is being like a film, and they start going back and thinking, and about everything they feel. You know what I'm saying? Like when our beloved elder, transitioned. He was one of the nobles, Abiyaya. I spoke to him on the phone, but then a brother told me he didn't want to speak to nobody anymore. And I knew there was something very, very wrong. And the last thing that the brother said, and this was, what was it all for? And that hurt me, because it's like, man, he had to think like that. So at that time, all these thoughts starts coming to you. Everything, and your whole life is being, it's like a movie being played right in front of you at a very high speed. Baba had spoken about that to us underneath the tent. You know what I'm saying? And underneath the tent of Kidar, he has spoken about that. But it's in the books, but it's again, you have to, you know, when you say the casual self, you know, everything physical has a metaphysical, a subsistent, because it's part of the same. You know, when you say something is physical and metaphysics, you still have physics in there. And everything, when you mention a casual body, it also has, it's sort of like another subsistence, you know what I'm saying? When you look at that body, it also has another, and that deals with a lot of your feelings and stuff like that. Anyway, that's all I would just want to interject, man, but I'll listen.
I didn't really hear the question of she was like going in and out. What was the question exactly?
Well, if you don't mind, Demuzi, I got something to add. Rahubat Zamaltat.
Rahubat Zamaltat.
Rahubat. So I've been listening to the conversation. You know, I like watching on my telephone, my cell phone, just like everybody else likes watching, right? But one of the things that you'll hear a lot with women in the work that they're doing these days, especially dealing with like sacred women, is you'll hear us talking about things like we're doing our shadow work, right? So shadow work happens during your altar work, during your journaling, during your meditation, you know, or after your meditation and things like that. It's that opportunity to delve into yourself, you know, and look at that side of yourself that is hidden. You know, they say when you meet people, you meet their representative. You know, you meet the person that they want you to see them as. You know, and everybody has a whole. When you're a human, you have a whole life of ups and downs, and when you were good and when you were bad, and when things, you know, like the brother was saying, as far as things that hold you back, like things that hold weight. You talk about having your heart weighed against a feather. How light is
I love this, sister.
You know,
please continue. I love this. Yeah.
Right. So
you're
what's
on
the things
point.
that hold down a heart against a feather? It's anger, it's regret, it's resentment, it's rage, it's grief, it's all those things, all those kind of things. So when you're doing what they call shadow work, you're resolving issues with that part of yourself that you keep hidden. It's still for balancement. It's not that you want to do away with it. It's still a part of who you are. And to get in touch with that, to heal that, that's the shadow work. And it's not just for sacred women, it's for everybody. Because if we heal ourselves, if we take the time to do the introspection, the real work, the work that we don't lie to ourselves about who we are and everything, and we deal with who we really, really are. If we do that work on ourselves as an individual, then we make better. We make better tribe mates. We make better household mates. We make better mates. Period. You know, we're because we healed ourselves. We're healthy. Bring your whole healthy self into the equation, and the only way that we do that. So you get books like A Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, you know, where you can go into the principles of polarity and all those kind of things. You go into where I remember a lot of it was in the 8 scrolls, you know, where you're talking about the self-development of it, you know, dealing with the mind, the potential. Any book that's dealing with that introspection. One of my favorite books that I love the most was the Quran Circle 7, you know, because I took a lot of lessons from out of there as far as like the story. It dealt with the stories of Jesus's travels through India. And it wasn't really so much about Jesus, and it really wasn't so much about India for me, but it was about the concepts, you know. So somebody ran up to Jesus one day and was like, "Yo, you getting ready to go talk to such and such? Man, that dude, he ain't no good, yada yada, right?" And Jesus is like, "Listen, I haven't met that man yet. You coming and you running to me and telling me about this, that, and the third. Like, I gotta have my own experiences with him, you know. Like, I'm not gonna judge him based off of your experiences." Or even if you go into the Mind Scroll, where or I believe it was Your Potential, where it talks about this such and such. Is that the same such and such? I forgot what the dude's name was, right? And it's because when somebody thought about that person's name, they'd have thought about the person that they were at a particular time, particular point in time, where he was not showing the best character. But the person that was talking to him about him doesn't know him for that. All he knows is this new person, this person that he developed himself into, and that's who he knows. So again, when we talk about the shadow work, you know, like think about like triple darkness, like the brothers have said, triple darkness is different than when you talk about the shadow. They have different associations to it through masonry, but really we could talk about the idea of our hidden selves. You know, that part of our iceberg that's below water. They say what only the 10% of the iceberg is what you see above the water, and the rest of that 90% that's submerged underneath, you don't see it, but it's bigger than a mountain. That's that part of ourselves that we need to dive into, so that way we'll have less issues when we actually come together. We'll be able to love each other better. Will we say things like another one of my favorite books, Women Who Changed the Course of History. You know, and I often say things like, "Oh, that sister ain't lit right." You know what I'm saying? If you got to get the book, find somebody who got a book, find a book that got a copy, or go to Scribe. But it's a lesson. It's a lesson for men and for women, because don't try to straighten us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, feed us good doctrine, but don't try to straighten us out. You'll break us. We're made like this. We're supposed to be like this. But Women Who Changed the Course of History, and see how, like, if you ain't lit right, and that goes for men too. If you're not lit right, you're gonna come and bring chaos into the scenario. You're gonna be you. You're gonna be the one. So check yourself first. I yield.
I appreciate that, Zamaltat, and it was just exactly why I asked the question, because the time when I listened to that tape, it was a good couple of years ago, and I've always been about self-work, and coming into the mission, Baba's teachings from very early, I was always very much attracted to the spiritual side. But I remember he said there are 3 sides of who you are. There's how you see yourself, how others see you, and who you truly are. That's what he taught us.
That's in the Sons of the Green Light. Yes.
In the brother Halif, that's exactly. I remember you know the tape I'm talking about, because I remember him talking about the blindfold, and he said there were deeper sciences, but he said that's lodge stuff. That's what he said basically, and he didn't really go into any detail. But it was just that at that time, it helped me to understand what I was actually going through myself, because when he talks about we have to clean ourselves inside out and outside in, that is what he's talking about. These are the levels that we have to go to. And I don't feel that we as a tribe discuss that enough, because this is why we have all of the issues that we have, that I think it's good that they're being revealed, because everything has to come out. So in that sense, it's good that it's surfacing, because you can't keep things buried for long. It has to come out at some point. But at the same time, I feel as Sacred Feminine, there's a different level that we tap into as Sacred Feminine that we have to raise up. That's where the balancement comes in. The brothers, it's like the way they deal with the knowledge is very different to how Sacred Feminine deal with the knowledge. And we have to know ourselves to know how we can balance everything out so there isn't chaos. Because really, we know Sacred Feminine are the key to the healing of the nation, the tribe. I recognize it. I'm sure the sister recognizes it, and many others do. But we really have to have the conversation. And I also feel that the elders are the key to a lot of the healing, because they were there from the beginning and they hold a great deal of wisdom, which is why I always appreciate that you bring the elders on, because I value that greatly.
Facts.
And so that's why I asked, because I'm like, a lot of the information that Baba taught was a long time ago, but it is valid to this day. And a lot of times we focus on what's the latest doctrine that's come out. Like, you bring up a lot of books that are, the older books, and you share a lot of the wisdom from that. So it just goes to show. And he's been teaching Wunawap from the 1960s and 1970s. But as we're simply reminded, we didn't want that. We wanted religion. We wanted to talk about, so he gave us what we wanted. So hopefully we will learn to want what he has to give. So I just wanted to share that. Appreciate the sisters' input. Much ashuk to you, and I just wanted to have that conversation, because
that's beautiful.
It's necessary. It's a necessary bill. We have to do the work internally. Like that, to me, is my mission: is to do the internal work. If we heal ourselves, then we can heal everybody else. So
we can't make it if we don't do the internal work.
Exactly.
Like one of the key. Remember, once you spoke about was the scales and the ma'at feather being weighed against the heart. So when we talk about the shadow, when you talk about all I modernize, right, the explanation. I call it the Shawshank Redemption.
We love it. We love
you go through the movie of the Shawshank Redemption, and Andy McFree, he got out of the prison. He broke out of prison, and he had to swim through 4 football fields of filthy manure and sewer water, and then swim out into a clean stream, and then wash himself and put on a new suit, a new body, and go on into the world. See, most of us want to be righteous. We want the divinity, but we don't want to swim back through our crap. You got to go through your own crap first.
Balance everything.
You got to balance your scales. Right. One of the ways you balance your scales, a lot of us don't do, is get out there and propagate and save souls. You start to balance a lot of things you didn't put out there in the karma. You balance out now by saving souls, because by saving souls, you save families. And unfortunately, a lot of us have been around and been through things where we destroyed families. So you now have people that are not looking to pray on you. Now you have people praying for you because of the light that you now brought into their life. You understand what I'm saying? And it's about balancing your scales and getting rid of all that dread. You know, what's the 42 negative confessions? Like, that's what that's about. Like, I ain't did this. I don't have this. I'm good. I'm not weighed from the worries of this world. I'm ready to fly. And that's, so we appreciate the question, in order for us to have the discussion, because it's about doing the work on the self. Bible says a do-it-yourself program that he's given us. So then we can come there as a collective to do it as a unified mind, And
I'll give you one more piece before I go. I actually spoke to some sisters today over the last couple of days and been telling them about, what we've been doing and the conversations that we've been having, and the idea of having this platform and the voice that it gives to the family, not just to the host, right? And the idea that we can't be Muisar, sticky, if we are separated and we are not talking to each other, if we don't know each other. To be sticky, to be Muisar, we need to know each other. We don't have a community right now where our what do we say, morphogenetic field?
Yeah, the morphogenetic field.
Okay.
That's right, morphic resonance.
Resonance, where we are experiencing an entire community that looks like us, smells like us, tastes like us, dance like us, has our own music, our language, our dress. We're not living in a community like that right now. So we have to find ways to still create that community amongst ourselves and to get to know each other. We cannot be strangers. Then it's not just the signs and symbols that say that you Musar. It's me knowing your nature and you knowing mine. It's you knowing me and me knowing you, and to understand, but like, okay, if somebody was to come up to you and be like, yeah, Nefera such and such and such, and you'd be like, nah, I know that sister. She don't get down like that. Or the brother did da 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 da, and be like, you know what? That he be like that. What we said, we just did the B principle.
The B,
the like difference between saying he is late or he be late.
He be late, that's right.
If he is late, meaning that this was this isolated incident. He be late,
that
meaning he always late. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that kun fire kun within ourselves and for each other. I need to know how to trust you, not just to trust you, but how to trust you. And the only way that I can know how to do that is if I know and understand your nature. If I know and understand your nature, that I know what I can put in your hands and what I can't. And it's not to say that you're a bad person or a good person. It's just that this is outside of your wheelhouse. This is outside of your capacity. And I wouldn't want to put you in that kind of a situation. So I'm not going to leave this $100,000 with you because, you be stealing.
You be stealing all the time.
You be stealing all the time. That's your reputation. Your reputation is you be stealing. I'm not leaving my kids over here because we know how you watch kids.
Yeah.
You know what
Sleep
I'm saying?
with the remote.
Right. Y'all better not be in that bathroom. So it's the nature. Know the nature of the people. So we
trust people to be who they are.
That means we have to have the conversation.
That's when we have to know each other.
Also the idea that we're able now to go back through a lot of information and a lot of things that we just weren't so sure about in the past. And now because we have a collective, we have people that are new here, we have people that are old here, we have elders here, we have people from different cultures because they live in different countries, So yeah, and I'm gonna go wash my hands because it's time for chance.
Yeah, it's time for chance. So we appreciate you again, Goddess. About So everybody else that's looking to come on up, you're gonna come on up, but we got to do this chant first, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's that time. It's that
Pull up my
time.
chat.
Steelo, I still ain't see you jump on. You talk about you wanted to get on, send the link so you can set it off, and they ain't get here yet. Where you at, God? Huh? Steelo, where you at? I'm waiting for the goddess to get back. She coming now. Now, I want y'all to get it in because it's gonna be one of those days where I ain't gonna be able here all night. I got a festival tomorrow. I got some things to do tomorrow, so I'm gonna be up all night prepping and doing some work. So I'm gonna get off probably like another hour. But I just hope everybody get into that the mode of like I put up the spiritual tools for psychic self-defense, part 1 and part 2. I did post those on Sacred Space. We're gonna post a 30-day affirmation on Sacred Space and go through those prayers, man, and make sure like even right now I'm going.
Is that a page, Pharaoh? Is that a YouTube page?
That's a group on Facebook.
Group on Facebook.
Yeah, it's called Sacred Space.
Sacred Space. Okay.
Yeah. So what we doing? We advising everybody that can upload prayers, supplications, meditations, affirmations, visualizations. You know, sure, it could be a haiku, words of wisdom. Like one of the joints I'm about to post, and I say, every day in every way, I'm getting better, better, and better. That's something I say to myself like 19 times before I go to sleep. You know, every day in every way, I'm getting better, better, and better. I say it when I get up. You know, so these are things that I put out there into the universe that, you know, we got because it's so much psychological warfare. The waves, they control it all. That's Baba said that's what keeps us away from the omniverse and receiving the messages because they're sending so much distractions. So we got to counter it. And so we have the gold book and the Ashutad and those are prayers in there. We have the Samak.
But you know what I say? You know what I say, Zamal Pharaoh? You know what I say? I say that we must have dropped the ball. We should have invested or at least grown some of the children to become PhDs in behavioral science. Because we're sick people, man. I mean, I'm from the hood. I'm from the Bronx, from the hood, man. I seen a lot of stuff. So, you know, that nature.
We did drop the ball because my children were supposed to be the ones came out glowing green. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm from 76. So you understand? So my children were the ones that we were looking to take us to the promised land. You dig? But they attacked us. It's not by happen chance. That crack hit. That crack changed the world. Crack was like COVID back then. Yeah. Crack was like COVID back then. Yeah. It was a pandemic.
That was a pandemic. That's right. It was.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality. So all right, we're gonna do this chant right now. We're going in. All right. Ready, Mama? All right. Patakut. Anuki Jawef Pa Ashokim Pa Paut. Wukale Ashokawun Jawef Nia. Anuki Kasamunim Pa Paut. Wupa Paut Kawun Kasamunim Nia. Anuki Wahu Ame Pa Paut. Wupa Paut Kawun Wahu Ame Nia. Nakokado Naju Ame Kasamunim Pa Paut. Wukabo Bame Buskasun. Nakuk Kador Kawan Kale Pafef Nakuk Doyor Jawef Pa Paut. Ame Wase Ame Dayarni Kawun Lake Bakoe Jawef Pa Paut. Anuki Yabebi Nafashni. Pa Paut Kawun Anuki. Pa Paut Kador Nakuk Kador. Pa Paut Amu Nakuk Amu. Lahehum Menenum. Amtumate Korehum. Amtumate Korekum. Amtumate Korenum. Amtumate Jawefnia. Amtumate Niyahu Anukihum. Yaye Ashukraye. Asmu Jayenum. Yaye Nataru Afuknum. Anuna temu kradukum. Yaye na taru afuknun. Afuknun. Yaye na tarunun. Anun. Atum. Atum. Amun. Yayehu, yaye, Natharu. Yaye saye, yaye, Natharu. Yaye hika, yaye, Natharu. Ankumate pa mufaku. Yayehu, yaye, Natharu. Ankumate pa mufaku. Uanunate mukradukum. Uem kumate muisanum. Yayehu, yaye, Natharu. Aromu klas nuna tumraye. Yayehu, yaye, Natharu. Yaye Natharu afusnun. Ankumane yake la duda muslafunun. Umuisarunun. Mane yake sawura paba. Mane yake kawuna kau. Mane yake athi akak. Mane yake kawuna bashawu damam. Yaye Natharu mugdamunun. Aro mugdanun. Anhu kawun manza mane pa Natharu. Aro Anhu kawun baba yananan. Aro Anhu kawun atumraye. Aro Anhu kawun haror. Yaye Natharu muslafunun. Afuznun mane pa mujwadu. Afuznun mane gahalan. Yaye Natharu afuznun. Mane sayo gayora. Afuzniya. Afuzniya. Yaye Natharu nun. Nakup talup tamui bipa Natharu. Mane pa lain lawi tenanu. Kalera namatni ate lahe pa Natharu. Ukale namazuratni ate lahe kayariatun lahe pa Natharu. Manan misfa kawun. Pasawabu pataruk. Zika wuna nazula lahe amkun. Mane masbad masa. Ame hadianun hudamaun. Mune muslafukun. Unatoru. Arjulaye nafashukun. Afukshane kawunkun. Pasawabu pataruk. Pahadian padama. Anun tawem kun. Lahe panadamal wushafe. Anun tawem kun. Lahe tim nasoy nun. Anun tawem kun. Lahe ashukuma. Am kumate muslafunun. Anunate mukradukum. Anun talub nasarukuma. Anun talub nasarukuma. And sonun kahen Natharu. And sonun muslafunun. Anun ate musbatu. Anun. Atum. Amun. Anun ate kalejoef bawu. Natharu nun. Yaye muftaru. Yaye Natharu. Yaye. Yaye atum raye yaye Nathar. Yaye nun yaye Nathar. Yaye nun tat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye ha yaye Nathar. Yaye hat tat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye kak yaye Nathar. Yaye kak tat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye amun yaye Nathar. Yaye amun tat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye atum yaye Nathar. Yaye shashash yaye Nathar. Yaye tafaf natat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye sabab yaye Nathar. Yaye natat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye arash tat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye asar yaye Nathar. Yaye nabad tat hatat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye satak yaye Nathar. Yaye hara yaye Nathar. Yaye haptwi yaye Nathar. Yaye anatat yaye Nathar tat. Yaye ha haratwi yaye natar. Yaye nafartum yaye natar. Yaye mantu yaye natar. Yaye bapti yaye natar. Yaye sakamtat yaye natartat. Yaye hatat haratat yaye natartat. Yaye ba ibish yaye natar. Yaye pata yaye natar. Yaye basastat yaye natartat. Yaye imhatap yaye natar. Yaye hu yaye natar. Yaye matat yaye natartat. Yaye mahat yaye natartat. Yaye kafafra yaye natar. Yaye maskanant yaye natartat. Yaye raitat yaye natartat. Yaye kantamatiyu yaye natar. Yaye hika yaye natartat. Yaye natatat yaye natartat. Yaye ma'at yaye natartat. Yaye ranantat yaye natartat. Yaye shayi yaye natartat. Yaye sashat yaye natartat. Yaye maftat yaye natartat. Yaye sabak yaye natar. Yaye anap yaye natar. Yaye kanum yaye natar. Yaye kanash yaye natar. Yaye patanum yaye natar. Yaye saye yaye natar. Yaye hatat yaye natartat. Yaye amas yaye natar. Yaye sarap twi yaye natar. Yaye atun yaye natartat. Yaye jahutwi yaye natar. Yaye patawarat yaye natartat. Yaye sokatat yaye natartat. Yaye ha yaye natar. Yaye nahepka yaye natar. Yaye sakar yaye natar. Yaye ba'a yaye natar. Yaye akar yaye natar. Yaye mahmaratat yaye natartat. Yaye wapawatat yaye natar. Yaye sokat hatatat yaye natartat. Yaye maritat sakartat yaye natartat. Yaye sayetat yaye natartat. Yaye garatat yaye natartat. Yaye asatanu yaye natar. Yaye bahatat yaye natartat. Yaye kanamtat yaye natartat. Yaye manatat yaye natartat. Yaye kamam yaye natar. Yaye mahatwi yaye natar. Yaye kabasana nafaf yaye natar. Yaye da'amatar afaf yaye natar. Yaye maritat yaye natartat. Yaye nasat yaye natar. Yaye imjadatat yaye natartat. Yaye nakak patat yaye natartat.
Yaye nakak patat yaye natartat.
Yaye sakartat yaye natartat. Yaye anaktat yaye natartat. Yaye jadad yaye natar. Yaye tum yaye natar. Yaye wahu yaye natar. Yaye asas yaye natar. Yaye anak yaye natar. Yaye afaf nuit yaye natar. Yaye satat yaye natartat. Yaye sakatwi yaye natar. Yaye imma'ad yaye natar. Yaye nana yaye natar. Yaye imnuit yaye natar. Yaye imsatatwi yaye natar. Yaye mukdata yaye natartat. Yaye raha shafaf yaye natar. Yaye maratwi yaye natar. Yaye amun yaye natar. Ooh, anunate kaleja with paut. Oh, okay. So now we're going to do the sign of the triad. That's also on the Sacred Space group. In the Sacred Space group. Be Paranan Impa Yababasar. Woo. Pa Batal Matat Arastat. Woo. Pa Tauba Sanan Harar. Amun. I got you going up my spine.
Welcome. I wanted to ask you a question about the sign of the triad. You know it's got Patar and then it's got Reye as well under Asar. Is that part of, like, do we have to say that as well, or is that, what's the purpose of that there? I'm not sure if it's for us to
But the
recite.
Patar is telling you, is giving you the locations.
Oh,
Because
okay.
so the Asar is the Patar, so the all seeing eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the solar plexus in the middle. So we've never, like, from the beginning when we've been doing it, like from when Bushwick first started, they introduced it. They always just basically explain what was what, as far as the eye in the center being the solar plexus, and just describing what the patar or the symbol of Asar is. Where Asar is placed is where the patar is, the all seeing eye. and
Okay.
then just going through the motion of the direction. We never said none of the other wordplay, but that's a good question to ask if anything else is added to it, because I do know it's said because of divine personages, some signs of divine love, and respect, done when you feel the need to show respect to the partner thought, So yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's no like the sequence dealing with the patar and solar plexus of the heart. I never heard anything dealing with it.
Okay. Well, tell.
Yeah, no problem. Fool. Yeah. So, anything else, sister? What's going on over there on the side of the What's up? What's that looking like over there?
Well, in what respect? It's very
In
quiet.
respect to this new world we in, this after Earth, COVID year 1 after Earth.
And be mindful, we do ship all over the world. naturalnatureherbs.com.
Well, I was actually going to ask you because I wanted to buy one of your T-shirts. So I was
okay. Yeah, we definitely do ship all over the planet. We got things going out to London and Canada, and wherever the people's at. We there.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah,
I'll definitely place my order.
Well, what's the political atmosphere out there?
It's very similar to the States, but as you know, our laws are different over here. So you see in the States where they're making mandates left and right. It's not the same over here. They're trying to mandate certain things, but because the laws are different, they have to move in a very different way.
Got you.
So there are no mandates where you have to have a vaccine to going to certain place. I think the only reason why you need to be vaccinated is for travel purposes, but they are going to put before the parliament like a plan B. So if they feel like COVID is getting out of hand, they have a plan B to implement mandates for certain events. So if it was like a concert or an event that held more than 500 people in capacity, they would want to require you to have a vaccine to enter that particular event. But in terms of workplace and just general like restaurants and stuff, you don't need to be vaccinated. Schools, you don't need. They're not trying to say teachers need to be vaccinated. Like they're not. I think the nearest they've done is maybe say care workers. They require them to be vaccinated, but there's a lot of pushback in regards to that. So it's very different in that sense. So I kind of feel for you all over there because
New York is going crazy. They talk about
because it's heavily populated. I'm not surprised New York would do that because it's very heavily populated. So they would, but
and naturally they went against everything they said that they were going to do. They naturally went against everything they said. We will never mandate. We will never. We can't do that. They doing it.
And they're doing it. Yeah. So we don't have it's I mean it's still I don't like what's going on, obviously. It's not good at all, but
like I said, Mom, what's the name of that movie? Baba had recommended to see this movie. Nefera. She done broke out on me. I'm gonna put it in the chat. But listen, the reality is this is a new world. See, it looked the same. It sounded the same. Everything was but
it's like you woke up and that was it. Something changed.
We've been in, like we all been transported to another planet that's identical to Earth. For real, God, it's like
anything that I read, I've learned that everything that I read, I always try to kind of like analyze things around my environment and things that's going on, current events and stuff like that, in order to validate. You know what I'm saying? Because again, going back to the answer, another one of the big mistake. I don't think it's a mistake, but the thing is, we was raising and we was creating a village, and everything on the outside was the dunya, the world. So a lot of the children grew up in that the world's full of demons, the world's full of this and that, You know what I'm saying? But when they get to their teenage years, if they happen to get a taste of the world, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like flip them, you know what I'm saying? It create a split personality. So in today's day and time, I say anything that I deal with as far as our culture, I'm going to try to find something out the box. I'm going to try to find something out there. So I started reading into the World Economic Forum, right? And you see all the initiative that they roll. You can go on their website and you see all the initiative. I mean, they got files that go deep, 400. So if you go on the COVID-19 file, you're going to open up like 400 different folders. You know what I'm saying? A lot of information. And those are the initiative plans of 300 billionaires that got together, and they already had planned this since 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I think Bob once told us. It's the initiative that they rolled out. And that is because they were, you know, they got their scientists and they're doing their studies that the planet, you know, at one time it was the ozone layers, right? The ozone layers. But and that we had a problem, so they eliminated the arrow spray cans. They eliminated that because they were concerned about that. Today, you got to look at 2 documentaries, Breaking the Boundaries and Kiss the Ground. Because these documentaries speaks about how the planet is, you know, because of the meat eating, you know, like Pharaoh, like you said, the world changed, man. It changed. Things are getting sensitive. So all this meat eating had caused an ecological effect on the planet. Also, tilling the ground. The farmers, they were giving new type of technology to till the ground that had harmed the planet. The burning of the Amazon. There's a lot of things that hurt the planet. So COVID fit just right in, the COVID-19. Let's put it out there, because Bill Gates did I don't know if anyone's seen it in the TED conference, you know, when they, TED conference. Yep. Bill Gates got up on there and you know, a person got up there and he put an equation, an algebraic equation on the board, and it says carbon dioxide, CO2, on one side equals P times S times V. And I forget what the other letter was. But it's saying that in order, so you know anything about algebra, if you bring one side of the equal sign to 0, then the carbon dioxide becomes 0. You know what I'm saying? In order to bring the carbon dioxide down, they have to bring P is population down, S is services, V is vaccines. Check that shit out. Vaccine. And I'm like, what? And this is what he put on the board. Now, he's part of that whole World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum. So these billionaires, you know, for the planet, because again, like you said, like Baba said, they having problems with their fertility because of all how they polluted the atmosphere and stuff, created a problem for them. We in Africa, they adapt differently. They didn't have that problem that much, you know what I'm saying? But if you go to India, you go to China, just recently the Indians were celebrating because finally they can see the Himalayas mountains from India, where at one time, a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, they couldn't see it because of the smog. China also reduced their the pollution. All of this happens how? By lowering the services, lowering population, vaccines, helping lower the population because of in order to lower the carbon footprint. Because all that affected the very beings, you know what I'm saying? How they procreate and everything. You know, so it's interesting. So like I said, you know, there's references in our doctrine, but I seek out of it just to see how did this fit in. You know what I'm saying? How does this fit into what's happening around us? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the master spoke of the COVID years ago. He actually just literally showed the virus. You had the Mukasu psychic lady Sylvia Rome. She spoke of the COVID. She spoke of in one of her books, even explaining how everything is going to be shut down, how the COVID, how it's going to leave for a certain amount of time, then it's going to respike, and then it's going to disappear again for like 5 years, and then come back out of the blue. Now a lot of things, like we know they've been on a mission since the 90s, actually 80s, with population control, because they know they can't control, that it's too many people on the planet. And really on a large scale, if you look at it on a planetary level, the Mukasus are a minority. So that's another reason why they want to do population control, because it's not just about the United States. It's about on a global scale, they're a minority compared to people of color. So they always want to be in position to control everything. Now, all of these things are happening not just because of them planning, but because they're elite are one in tune with extraterrestrials. Two are studying the clock of destiny, so they know the universal times and cycles of extinction and control. So they're all, remember what Baba said, they always looking to extend their control, extend their power past their allotted time. So Bill Gates is just another one of these people that know that their time is up. And he's looking to add on and control the population, create chaos, keep the people discombobulated and disoriented, so they can solidify their control over another generation of people, for an extended amount of time. But I just want to reaffirm that, like, with the updates that the God gave us that we got from Baba, he literally calls this an invasion. He calls this an invasion, and I'll post on my page, on my Facebook.
Body snatchers, watch.
Nah, he calls it, because, and it's funny you said body snatchers.
That movie he told,
because there was actually a point where he said they don't know what the virus is turning into.
Yes,
he said, and it's gonna happen, and when they realize it, it's gonna be too late.
Too late.
So
you know how viruses work, right? I mean, it has these spikes that they're like a USB port, and they plug into those RNAs, and they plug into each other, and they plug and they become hosts into your. But they need a host to survive, so they get into your body. So you never know. That's information. A virus has RNA, DNA. It has information in it. So you don't know what's coming. From beyond, what spurs are coming in here and changing the way we think and who we are.
Think about panspermia, right?
Yes.
And the idea of fertilization from outside this earth because of DNA and RNA on asteroids or meteorites. So think about that type of science and the idea of the virus being transmuted here the same way.
Yes.
And now you want to get into who and where it came from. That's a whole nother story. It doesn't matter to me. The fact that it happened in these days and that it's a targeted virus against the Mukasu.
Yeah.
We got to pay attention to that. Yeah. And we're falling from it. Because we haven't listened to the words of the master for the last 30 years when he was saying, get away from them. Get out of their stuff. Get them back their stuff. Get your own stuff. Create your own systems. Live of, for, and by each other. Get away from them. He told us over and over and over. And of course, what we do, we ain't listen. We ain't listen. So yeah, I'm looking for that. I forgot. Halif, anybody that remember what book that was that had the Baba got the COVID? I'm definitely going to
is that a new book or
like the movie Venom?
God of Fire, God of Light.
You said what?
God of Fire, God of Light.
It's in the God of Fire, God of Life. That's what it's saying, Goddess, because the sister asked. Yeah, God of Light. God of Fire, God of Light. Yeah, you want to add on to something? Oh, yeah, the good brother Khalil Lowe, he going there right now. He
What's
going
up,
in.
Papa?
He
What's
said,
up, my brother?
why are we in New York? Why did we leave the South? And do not tell me Baba Yanun said, okay, then what you want me to lie to you? Because he says, because I never heard Baba say go back to the North.
I didn't get that. What he said? Why we left New
He
York?
basically said why. Yeah, he said why. No, he said why we not in the South.
Why we not in the South?
I guess he's
we
still in the
everywhere.
South.
There's no
We
north,
are
south,
everywhere.
east,
We are
and west.
everywhere.
We're everywhere.
But you're gonna get mixed. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times you get mixed messages with things like that because the people don't want to move. When we left to go to Georgia, the people didn't want to leave New York, and they made up all kinds of reasons why they shouldn't go. And when Baba said he said get on the other side of the Mason-Dixon, that was the message.
I remember
You ain't necessarily had to come to New York. He said get on the other side of Mason-Dixon. And I'm gonna tell you, if you look up just a few weeks ago, I think I screenshot it. I might post it on my Facebook page. They had a picture of the country, and the whole country was split in half on the Mason-Dixon, and everything under the Mason-Dixon line was red. And they were specifically talking about the spikes in the virus.
What?
That's a fact. And I said, wow. I said, God said, get on the other, because he speak decades in advance.
I'm right on the line. I'm in North Carolina.
I feel you, God. I feel you. So I'm just like, that's just on us, having to, either we're gonna follow the instruction. I got it right here. It literally says 50.6% of the country's hospitalizations due to COVID is on the underside of the Mason-Dixon. So,
which is strange, man, because I thought that
that's true.
I thought that
that's true. That's a fact. But you talk about that. But you also talking about the different variants and the fact that a lot of think about Texas and Vegas and a lot of Georgia, Atlanta. They never shut down. Really, they did them. They just kept doing them nonstop. They was like, we doing our own thing. They was on some heavy stuff. We got our own thing. We got our own
old school. Oh yeah.
So Bob was like, look, we got to be careful. We got to be safe. Ultimately, we want to unify and get together. But listen, listen, check this. Go look at this movie. It's called Songbird.
Okay.
Oh, Baba recommended look at the movie. That's what they talk about in Songbird. They living in a world COVID-20. 2020 is not. No, it's like 2029. There's a movie called Songbird, and the only people that are walking around in public are those that are immune. And they
what is that on Netflix?
They do all this. Is on Netflix. I don't even remember. But yeah. We got that fire stick, so we do what we do. Okay, so I don't even know. It don't even make no difference what it's on to me. I'm gonna get it.
I had that. You got a jailbroken?
I don't know what that means, beloved. I follow all the laws. I have no idea what you're talking about. What does that talk about? Somebody ready to get out of here. Hold on, God is going to talk. Hey, mama.
So just to address that for the brother a little bit, right? Because again, the idea of above the Mason-Dixon line and don't tell me Baba said.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, we completely understand what you mean when you say that. I mean, from the heart. So much so that we, in loving jest, we made a T-shirt about it that just says on it, Baba said.
That's what we always got. That was the answer we always got.
Right. So I get it, and I understand. Right. So here's what it is. Again, we're not in a solid physical community right now, where we're directly amongst each other. And please know that it doesn't matter how close to the center somebody got the information. A lot of things are words, mouth to ear.
Yes.
So a lot of sometimes things will get lost in translation.
Yes.
Sometimes you will hear the same message a couple of times in different ways. Right. So here's the 2 keys that I can give you, the best that I can do. Right. First and foremost, listen for the voice of your father.
You gotta reason it out.
Use the Wu Nuwap. Use what he gave you. Non-mind reasoning. You know, evidence, reason, experience, evidence and reason.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And you've read the books, you've listened to the tapes. this gets back into what I was saying before about knowing the nature of a person. If you know the nature of a person, you'll know how a person speaks to you. You know, them movies where they'll take somebody's soul and they'll put it in somebody else's body, and now that person has to try to convince their most closest loved one, which is usually like their mother, they child, they husband or wife, that it's them inside this body. That's because the nature is not going to change. So you got to listen for the voice of your father. Understand how this man has been walking us this entire time. You know, how does he move? How does he move? You know, how does he prepare us? What has he been doing this entire time? And if you start adding up every time he told us to do something and it was right, and then he told us to do something and then it was right, and then he told us to move here and it was right, and he told us don't do that and it was right, and he told us prepare for this and he was right, eventually you'd be like, you know what? Baba ain't let us wrong this far, right? So listen for the voice of your father. And then secondly, you have to use your nine mind. You have to use your nine mind and make discernment. And if you're unclear, get more information, but you still got to filter it through your own mind. This is not a point of just Baba said. This is not a point of us being led. We have been left at the wheel for a very long time now. We just didn't know it.
Didn't grab the wheel.
All right. We didn't know it. Now we know it. So we driving. You know, we got all the driver's manuals. We got all the instructions for the spaceship, but we at that wheel. You know what I'm saying? So listen with all ears. Look at with all eyes. You know, put your heart on the line with it, and come up with some reason for yourself. If you need more clarity, get with brothers and sisters that you feel have a little bit more insight, a little bit more information, and sharpen your sword against their sword. You know, again, another reason why we are communicating, because we are a community and we have to talk to each other. You know what I mean? So you might hear it there, you know, but remember Farrell was talking the other day, the brothers were talking, and they said how back when we needed to know something and Baba was here, you could shoot a kite down to the land, you could take a weekend trip down to the land, you know, you could show up, we're at class, you could do this, that, and the third, and get the information and be able to bring it back. You know, and we don't have that immediate thing right now. So what does Baba expect from us? For us to not act like freaking children, for us to not act like freaking babies, where we can't think for ourselves and be ingenuitive and resourceful and act like we actually know how to survive this thing here. Come on, please. Can we get it together, please? Can we get it together? No more baby talk. Oh, Baba said to do the thing like that. We ain't got no time for no baby talk.
No.
All right, we need all gods and goddesses to stand up and come on the line. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's building time. What are you talking about? What you got? What resources we got? How are we protecting ourselves? What we call ourselves a tribe? I know I'm a part of a tribe. I don't
all
know
hands on deck is what I say. All
That's
hands.
right. That's right. Sacred feminine is on deck.
That's right. And I know, and listen, I know that there's more people that feel and think the way me and my husband feel and think. You know what I'm saying? And they in their little corner of the world, which really ain't that big, it's really, really small, they feel alone. They feel like they're in their community, they're in their, even their Sabian community, and they feel like don't nobody hear them. That they're trying to come up with ideas, they're ready to put the effort forward, and they're talking to this person and talking to that person, and they just can't seem to get a project off the ground. And that's because they're still not matching up with their alikes. You gotta find people that burn like you. Find them. Find people who are ready to put action to word and build and put it together. Get to know what your tribe needs. Get to know what you need to establish. You are going to be the tribal leader in your own home and in your own community. Baba said, I am not raising followers. I am raising leaders. That's why I say when we walk with him, I don't say follow him. I don't even say him leading us. I say walk with him, because he didn't come here to raise no freaking babies. He came here to raise men and women, gods and goddesses. So just as much as we have to be diligent in making sure that we can get whatever information that we have, and more importantly, stay in tune. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you must have your filter right. And if you ain't got your filter right, that means you need to dive into some more books.
Let's get it.
Man, powerful. You know something, Farrell? So do you remember, you say you go back, into the I came in the 79s, but do you remember that we had the intercom? I'm telling you, that's why. And today we got this format, but we had this in another form. Remember when we had the radio station? and a speaker in every bait, right?
Yeah, I remember.
In the restaurant, we had a television station with TVs all over the place, and the broadcasting was from Baba's Bait, and also an intercom system. So we had access to them whenever we needed to ask them a question. To press the intercom.
Shoot, it was a radio system.
That was crazy.
On the land, they had Bob was doing broadcast 24/7 there on the land.
Also, yeah, wow.
Nah, yeah, but definitely, this is another way for us to reach around the world and interact with each other. Because what we found is we started broadcasting. We found that a lot of brothers and sisters were in remote places and didn't have access to the information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, this is real. You know, this is beautiful, and I appreciate y'all, rolling with us and getting busy and coming with the questions and being part of the discussion, because that's how we're supposed to do. Like, matter of fact, right? And a lot of the actual facts, right? Baba had the actual facts. He had in the back of them questions. Like, you literally finish the book, and then you get to the end. They were workbooks.
Questions, yeah.
Workbooks. So what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to be reading the actual facts as a collective, getting into dialogues and conversations and builds and question the answers, and then we get to the end, we can answer the questions, and then so that we're all on a clear understanding of the different subject matters, and we be able to add on, different references and things of that nature from other books. So yeah, man, it's about the work. And guess what? That attack that we have, the constant attack, that's because their grip is slipping. You know what I'm saying? Their grip is slipping. And remember, this is for the elite few. You got to qualify. How do you qualify if you've never been tried and tested? This is your trial. So if you want to be accepted by the mainstream, and they sitting there like, oh, you dealing with those people, and those people is dealing with that man, and that man teaches what he teach. 99.9% of the people who talk about Baba don't even know what Baba teach. They don't even know the doctrine. They'll talk about the Ansar and even go back to maybe some of the right knowledge. But this doctrine here, they don't know nothing about it. That's why I do so much reading from the book.
They got cut off.
I do so much reading from the books because I want people to see what we're reading. I want them to hear what we're teaching. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get it.
One of the brothers, Israel, asked a question about
I see.
The University of Truth. That's what universities are about. Multiversity.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What's the let me see what the brother said. What are the thoughts on getting land in the tropics, being the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, to build a safe haven where we could grow food? Bro, that's where it's at. Before we could go to Africa, to the continent, the tropical areas, the Caribbean, stuff like that, is like a training ground. It's like practice. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are super Americanized. I know a brother that went out to South Africa. He thought he was Shaka Zulu till he got out there. Then he started realizing how American he was, all the amenities that's not there, and he was like, oh man, I gotta go home. So going to the place like the Caribbean in the tropic land, this is what we need to start doing, beloved. Everywhere we got, there was an update where Baba said, he said that he's seen 144 gnomes. It was 144 gnomes.
I saw that.
It was, and he was like, and the gnomes would control. Each gnome had their own male and female pharaohs over the gnome, and their own council of 24. And then they communicated with the main, gnome. So even this reality that we're living in now was part of the potential reality to come about. Because Bobby, he got to see all the streams. Remember, and anybody seen the last Avengers Secret Wars, the wars, right? With what's the dude name? What's the dude with the Infinity Wars, right? The Infinity Wars, the Marvels.
No, I didn't catch that.
The Infinity Wars, right? So with what was the dude name, Mama? From the Infinity Wars with the gauntlet.
Thor?
The big purple dude. I forgot his
Oh.
name. Thanos, right? So Thanos was washing everybody. Nobody could deal with him. So there was a point where Doctor Strange was sitting there meditating, and he was seeing all the different probabilities that can manifest in the future. He was using one of the Infinity Stones in order to be able to see all the different possible routes. And he was like, it was like 14 million different realities that he had to go through, different timelines. And he said they won in only one equation.
That's crazy.
So he had to make sure that they went down that road to have that equation.
Man, that's crazy. You know who Thanos was, right? In Greek philosophy, right? Thanos?
Thanos, yeah, it's Thanos. Yeah, it's Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos in the Greek was, I think Socrates, one of his students. Thanos was one of the first one that actually started the option trading. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting you say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'm like, why didn't they name Thanos?
Thanos' mission was crazy. Thanos' mission was to because of the population of the universe and the resources being unbalanced. So his mission was to get all the stones in order to balance out nature.
Wow.
That's what's crazy. And even though they perceived it as killing everybody, come to find out, he wasn't killing everybody. He was sending them he sent them all to a different dimension.
It's just like today, man, if you want to look at it financially, you know what I'm saying, that whole metaverse and crypto world, you know what I'm saying, the option trading, like I'm doing paper trading now, but option trading, when I get to that point, man, it's creating millionaires. It's creating another stream of income for people that don't even work, that, you know, you don't have to go and get a work under somebody else. You could be your own boss in your house and just option trading, you know. So it's providing that, it's equalizing the economical system on the planet, you know.
That's right.
I got something else I can give y'all, right? If there's the elders can, if you can co-sign this. I remember hearing about how like a lot of the Ansars were told that we might not, during the times we're not in large communities where we're in one huge community, that we would break off into smaller pockets.
Yes.
You know, where there's a couple of families that are living together and amongst each other, so they can keep the culture going, so that they can safeguard each other economically, as well as spiritually and everything else like that, and maintain until we're able to come together again. You know, because we see that with a lot of the older people, where the younger people are dispersed. The older people of Voodoo, they're still together in little pockets.
No, that's a fact. And then one of the listen, our objective, because think about the fact that they talking about Baba, because one of the brothers talking about, if they ain't talking about you doing something wrong. The reality is, it's 20 years and they talking about Baba like all this stuff just happened. That lets you know how serious it is. Because because his impact, his fingerprint is still being felt on the pulse of society. Like if you think about all the people that's been inspired by the master, like if we were to strip away all the people that were influenced by the master, the culture would be dry and dead.
Yeah. We all connected in some ways. We all connected on the galactical level. You know what I'm saying? Our minds, our consciousness is really just one consciousness, and we're just breaking off pieces. So imagine the consciousness of Baba being in there, in that pool, that reservoir. It's affecting everything around.
The main vein. That's why he said. That's why he said he's outcooked. He's confirming right now he's outcooked. The whole industry, everything is revolving around him. When you think about how, especially right now through social media, being that Hollywood is dead. So through social media, everything is connected. The network TV is connected to the YouTube, and everybody's connected. So when you see Sarnetta and Taharka and
getting those views like that,
and they doing that, that's because the mainstream media is watching also. When you see Mark Lamar Hill come in and Jacob York come in, that's because the mainstream media is watching. So they're going to research who's Dr. York. That's why I'm telling everybody, yo, post all of the videos, post all of the recantment videos, post all of those. You know what I'm saying? You got to refill people with the information, because even though we've been doing it for 20 years, a lot of them are just getting hip to the idea of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And Bobby taught us years ago also. He said, listen, they're going to talk about you anyway. They're going to talk about you if you do what they want you to do. They're going to talk about you if you don't do what they want you to do.
Facts.
So our objective is to give them something to talk about. We're going to steer the conversation. So when you say you're going to talk about me, nigga, say this. Okay? That's where we going. So we on it. We on it like that.
But yeah, I do remember, the master teacher, the old man, speaking to us about that, us breaking off. Because remember that when at the time that we was Ansars, it was just before they bombed Iraq, that whole war against the Middle East. And remember, we were walking around in Jalabir and Emma like we came from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he got down that white.
That's right. That's right. He had to protect us and say, yo, wait a minute. And I remember him. Yeah, I remember him telling me that he had a hard time getting to certain countries, you know what I'm saying? Because they knew, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, in today's day and time, you notice, same thing is happening today. You know what I'm saying? The attention of the East, because the East is always going to meet the West. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they got the same agenda, New World Order, control the planet.
Yeah.
They got the same exact agenda. Yeah, definitely.
But the plan is big enough for everyone, so I don't even know why.
Yeah, but it's not big enough for everybody's greed.
Greed.
It's not big enough for everybody's
there you
greed.
go.
When you think about, they be talking about land and people, how there's not enough land, but then you got like 100,000. You got 100,000 golf courses on fresh green land. You know what I'm saying?
I see land around me every day here in North Carolina. It's crazy land out here, and they building too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, listen. Another thing is, someone asked about the chanting and why do we chant? The necessity is chanting is raising our vibration, is recalibrating our DNA and the molecular structure of the body to purge away the Mukasu or the Europeans' indoctrination and tones and energy in us, pushing all that stuff away and raising up in degrees with our own language and our own tones so that we can reconnect with the ancestors, with the overseers, and get away and transform the negatives to positives. The name of the movie to watch is Songbird. Songbird was wild, man. Like everything was shut down, and only people that were able to walk around in public were people that were immune to the COVID, and they were the ones doing deliveries and working on the warehouses and all that. And it was a super security that was like if they had sensors in everybody's houses and stuff, so that you had to go constantly be testing regularly. You had to go and test the machine, and it would tell you whether you were sick or not. And
that's what they're planning on. And they put it in movies, it's because they're planning on that.
It starts in military. It goes military, private, public.
Well, now that you say that, they're in New York. I think that there's a picket now with the nurses. They're firing a lot of nurses and they're bringing in the military to take their place.
That's right.
It's a big thing going on right now.
They're bringing the National Guard in.
Yeah, National Guard. I was reading up on that. You know, but New York has always been an epic center for a lot of things.
And now, with Cuomo out of the way, they're able to do a lot of things that they never would be doing.
Facts.
But Cuomo would stop them in their tracks. Because Cuomo run New York like it's its own country.
Yeah, facts.
And now they got a new woman there. She going with going
with the program. Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's just keeping a job. She want to keep a job. She don't understand that the whole country is about to split to pieces. This is why they got the new IDs, the enhanced IDs. That some of them you can go to federal building, and some of them you can't. Some of them you can use as passports. Why would I need
with the star
an ID to use as a passport to go to another American state unless they're about to split jurisdiction wise? You understand? But we not paying attention. We playing games. We playing games, family. We playing games, man. So
that's what happened. That's what happened back in what they call the civil era. Back then, you know, that happened, and it's happening again. You know what I'm saying? It's just coming around because at one time they had many different jurisdictions, especially when you had those tribes, the Polish tribe, the English tribes,
the Six Kings,
the French, right? They came in here,
gangs in New York,
and you know, and the Orocos Confederation allowed them to sit in council because there was a government in this country
We
amongst
were
the
government.
Irkos people.
That's right. Amongst the natives.
The natives.
It was always governments. That's right.
When they allowed them to sit in, that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I said this. I did like in my debate because I'm like people want me to debate. You understand? I'm from a place. I was a part of a organization and a debate team that beat Harvard and Yale debate team. We get busy. Okay, so we from that type of grooming. Let me say that. Okay, so in the debate team, I'm pro people, I'm pro indigenous, so they make you argue the opposite side of what you bear witness to.
Right.
So you got to make all the points that you really want to go against. And one of the issues because they had me representing the Mukasu against the Native Americans for it was crazy, right?
That's interesting.
But one of the things that I said was the elders inside the circle, you had the prediction and guidance of the ancestors warning you about the white man. You knew we was coming. Why did you still let us in? It's not my fault. We are who we are, talking about the white man.
Yeah.
We are who we are. We ain't never trying to be nothing. So you know that white spirit was coming. And you were told, stay away from him. Don't let him in. You want to get on some, turn the other cheek, we all brothers stuff, then don't, again, knowing people for being who they are. If you know this person's a killer, don't get mad when he start doing what he do.
Oh yeah. Don't invite him to your house.
Yeah, man. It's like klepto. You got a kleptomaniac. And
man, I had a friend like that. Stealing. I had a friend. Like I said, I grew up in the Bronx, in New York, in the hood, and so in my neighborhood, I had this one dude that took on to me. You know, he just wanted to hang out. You know how it is in the block. You kick it. Yo, what's up? You know what's up? And we're doing our thing, surviving. Little street entrepreneurship. So this guy was a killer, man. He used to wear a black glove. He used to walk around. All of a sudden, this guy wanted to hang out with me. And I'm like, what the hell? So he come knocking on my door. Toot, 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 toot. Hey, it's Colin. He had one of them little squeaky voice, but he was a killer. A killer. This guy was a hitman. So he's knocking on my door. Toot, toot, toot. Hey, Carlo there. Man, I'm hiding, telling my wife, do not open the freaking door. I don't want nothing to do with that dude, man. Get up. Man, I had to hide from this dude, man. I said, I don't want to be your friend, bro. I don't need to be your friend. They said you're gonna do things and I'm gonna be a witness, and then you're gonna have something on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I don't need that.
That's about your environment. Like we used to tell women, tell the sisters, you shouldn't go no place where you're not willing to bring your children.
Facts.
What we didn't
Bobby used to tell us that all the time. Facts.
What we did, but that also goes for the men.
Oh yeah.
We didn't apply it to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be around nobody and be around no place that you not willing to bring your children.
Yeah. That's learning from the sacred women.
That's right, man. That's just real, man.
That's a fact.
One of the ways we gotta start moving.
And
we just gotta get back in tune with those things.
We
gotta get back in tune with our natural nature, and our way of life. Listen, anybody got any questions, any comments? Anybody want to come through and speak their truth? So I'm
going to sign out. I'm going to sign out.
All right, goddess.
But I just wanted to say to the Mukdal, before you leave, please can you play some drums? Because those tones are just they're just out of this world.
Let me see what I can play here.
We need some tones, but you know, it doesn't have to be now because I know people might still want to ask questions to try. But thank you anyway. Tell everybody.
No problem. Enter that fool, goddess. Always a blessing.
Safe.
You be safe out there. Maintain and
You too.
Stay in tune and keep us in tune. Each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
We looking to be Muisar. We're looking to be sticky. You saw, yo.
Definitely. Muta Ashok. All right.
All right.
Wadu. Ashok.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. Where's the sister is in London, right? Because I know the accent. Oh, okay.
Tour.
Okay. Interesting.
Tour. She in London. Bro, I put the link on the thing, Israel. All you had to do all night was hit the link, dog. It ain't
Come on
me.
in. Come on in, man.
building.
Come on in, man. We got a good vibe going on here. Come on in, man.
And matter
We're
of
all
fact,
learning. I'm
it's
learning.
the
I'm
best
learning.
time because we got. Listen, I'm out of here in 30 in 20 minutes. I gotta go. I got a huge engagement tomorrow, and I'm actually gonna be up all night preparing for it. So I can't really be.
Where can I hear your stuff, man? Cause you say you do music, right?
Oh, yeah, I do music, man. Like,
I know you spit. I know you got some rhymes. I know that for a fact. I think I heard that.
I'm actually went to the studio recently because I'm putting together some R&B joints because I actually write R&B. I used to sing back in the days, but I had to decide. Let me tell you how I started rapping. Anybody coming up here? Let me tell my story. So I started rapping, right? I started spitting after I was doing a talent show at my school.
Okay.
And I was breakdancing. I had a solo breakdancing, and I'm doing the windmill. And the windmill, I go into the backspin, and in the backspin, I'm supposed to end with my pose and all that, and I backspin right off the stage, right off the stage.
Wow,
boom,
that's crazy.
Fell on my back. Boom.
That is crazy.
Because it was like a double. So I'm like, and I'm hearing go, and then it was like everything was silent, and I was like, I heard everybody gasp, like, and I'm I thought I was just getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know the brothers that started that whole breakdancing thing. Breakdancing.
Okay.
In the Bronx. Breakdancing. Little Man, Crazy Leg, Mr. Freeze. There was a couple of other guys. Cool Sky, Clark Kent. And these was, they were gymnasts. Because a lot of those moves came from gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting.
Yo, that's deep.
I tried it. I broke my ass. I couldn't.
I used to break dance, man. I was getting busy. I used to walk around
I can up rock.
And
I can up rock.
What's the they used to have the windbreakers. They used to fold into the pouch.
Yeah, windbreak. Oh yeah, that's my yo. What?
Yeah,
you talking about when I was going? Yeah, it's my time.
Nah, yeah, real talk.
Oh, nice.
The young God is.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, y'all? What's going on, How you been?
What's good? Hey, man, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Today, I shook. Great day. Divine love.
Yeah. We here.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, guys? What's up? You adding on? Listen, y'all? Whatever you want to add on, Battle Royal. Whatever y'all want to do.
Word.
It's
cool.
Right, y'all.
Rahul Bet.
Hey, Rahul Bet, man. How folks?
Yeah. I just want to build on the subject, you know what I'm saying? Because as I was typing in the comments about, being in the tropics and, finding a place, I actually had a little bit ago a brother who was actually a part of the organization. He was actually on the land in Tamaray when, the land was there. He was on the land. He's got land right now actually in Honduras. My question was, because I know, like we say, the motherland, Africa, that's our place. You feel me? That's where we're supposed to be. He got land in Honduras. He was inherited some acres. He got all kinds of stuff going on in there. So it's real cool. But I was wondering, like, for just for me, because obviously I'm a tropical being. As you know, brother Pharaoh, you already know I spent 5 years in the tropics. So I love the whole weather, everything like that. That's me. Amazing. And now I'm just trying to, as far as guidance goes, I want to ask, like, would the best thing to do just kind of wait a second before I just make moves, you know what I'm saying? Because I have opportunities to do things like Belize, Honduras, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like finances are a real thing. Making yourself, established, and also the family. Musa, y'all, like everyone that I come in contact with. That's my family. Like, what we all gonna do? Because y'all stuck with me now. No, I'm just kidding.
I understand. You saw means sticky. One of the words of family is being sticky. Family can't be family without being familiar. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta definitely be familiar. But yeah, the master. Listen. First of all, it's United Sabians worldwide. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna be worldwide. Everywhere you go, you're gonna find somebody that's there from us anyway. So the idea is to be a sovereign wherever you go, where you have to go where the weather is conducive, where the laws are conducive, where everything is conducive to what you want to do and establishing your stuff and your living and you be your comfort. So if you got a space out there, man, because you got people that's waiting, because some of them is because they ain't got nothing, they ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? But if they had opportunity, they be out. You know what I'm saying? It's on you and what's going on with you. We wait. Definitely the master, this guy is here to guide us, but it's not like you're saying you're leaving the planet. You know what I'm saying? You look, and you go where you go if you establish land, because at this point it's really about getting land, and you can always throw the little tiny houses, trailers, little dome
those
houses
containers,
for the family to come through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
them container homes
make a
are
house
where
out
it's
of
at right now too.
containers,
Real
man.
talk.
Hey.
You can do
And
a
that's what we
lot
all
with
should be
those.
aspiring to do. You know, because it's gonna be happy, because you know niggas don't listen. So when it happened, every guy gonna be like, "What the hell? What's going on? What to do?" And they gonna just be running, and we gonna have to take care of niggas. That's just the reality of it. We gonna have to let people in. Like, oh my god, now here they come. Like Rosewood coming running out the woods while the train is going out. I'd be like, oh my god, look at these niggas. We told y'all this. What y'all doing? So yeah, man. I would say just stay in tune, though. You know.
Also, in the tropics, that's like natural nature. That's where we're supposed to be at. You know what I mean? Living up in the cold, up in the north, this shit sucks. You know, so I can't stand it.
You telling me, man? You telling me?
You know, just to share with you, you know what my family did, just to give you an idea. Invested, you know, because we're from the island of Puerto Rico, Borinquen, from that island, right? But we're from the part on the coast where most of the black people's from. You know what I'm saying? I got a Haitian ancestry. And that's Maunabo, is the beaches. So my sisters, her daughters, my family, we got together and we got containers and made Airbnb containers on the beach.
Smart.
It's
smart.
always getting,
crazy,
Airbnb, always people want to go there. We haven't built a bigger house with those containers, but it's just one container. But yeah, it's pretty nice, man. I mean, I wish I could have shared.
Those are the joints that Polite at one point.
Polite
at one point was talking about he was the originator of that hustle.
Oh no.
He was doing a container compartment.
A project, a compartment. They got that in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
a whole mall of containers in Las Vegas.
I'm in Las Vegas right now. That's where I'm at. It's
oh
funny.
yeah. So you've been there? The containers are it's like a mall.
I've seen it. Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Read up on the history of that, how that person built that. But there's a lot of ideas, you know what I'm saying, so that when the master teacher get out, you know what I'm saying, he's a good investor. He's going to instruct. You know what I'm saying? He's a good investor. He sees a good idea. He you know, we had an idea to put a fruit stand in front of the tent, and he went out and invested in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I worked in there with the elder good father Musa and Abdul Rauf. You know, we worked there. You know, he invests in things. Like he always, you know, Master Teacher always said this: I look for something different in a person, a new idea, a different idea.
Right.
Then I know that a God has incarnated.
That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what he said.
You are God, so you got to find those ideas and those concepts, and then create those feelings and those habits that it can align to your ideas and concept. Because you can't have ideas and concept, and then if you don't practice it, you know, practice what ideas you have and bring it into, you know, manifestation. If you can't do that, because, in other words, if I say to myself, I'm a pianist, I play piano, but I don't sit down and practice every day, I'm not going to be able to play piano for you.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's real.
And I said that nice. I remember.
You got people. You got Duns is asking whether he ever been to Egypt before.
Right, Dozo.
Who?
Crazy people, man. Talk about, has he ever been to Egypt before?
Who? Our master teacher's been to Egypt. Hell yeah.
Of course he has. I know.
Oh yeah, we just have the picture of it right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm finna go on some of these platforms and take heads. I'm not even playing with these dudes. I'm gonna do it nice.
Be careful, my brother. Be in it, but not
out
of it. Yeah, just be careful, man, because you can get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, we gotta chin check these dudes. A lot of them been out there wilding out. And I've been following some of the stuff that was going on with Taharka, Sanetta, and whatnot. And I'm like, God dudes is plugging.
And just
y'all ain't even
recently,
representing basic
Garfield.
truth. Y'all is on something like whatever y'all feel like doing that day. And I'm like, nah.
They trying to
You
get
don't let
money.
them just do that to us.
They trying to get
Master,
views,
that's just wrong.
Garfield just brought up the Tariq Noel on again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Garfield is a beef patty and cocoa bread. And,
I love those, man. Come on now.
Yeah, old beef patty and
With
cocoa bread.
cocoa.
he's a clown,
Damn,
right? First of all, what nigga with knowledge of self running around calling himself Garfield? That's the first thing.
Right.
You even
Like
put
the
an X
cat?
on your drink.
I don't think his book is doing
bro.
well, man. I was gonna critique.
Trash, bro. And
I
let me
was gonna.
say this about Tariq Noel. He recanted. Why they not talking about that? That he
Recant
admitted.
statement.
Yeah, he admitted that he did his statement because of his mother and his sister
I
that
remember
were
that.
in legal
Yeah, that's right.
problems.
That's fact.
So listen, talk about that aspect.
Yeah.
Because he's the only vocal person from the case that they're still walking around.
And he said there was other involved in it. He said there was other involved in it. His age. Where they're at? How come they didn't come
They
out?
don't exist.
Come on now.
Invisible bullies.
Hey, I even see someone on Facebook who actually posted. They've literally posted like a whole apology letter on Facebook of talking about how they recanted the statement and they were threatened by the government. The government was about to take the kids and about to take the family and say, if you don't say this and this, then we're about to take you and your family and we're about to take you out.
You know why they became a target? They did it to themselves because there was a point where again, you know, when they came out and they started assimilating themselves to the world, to the dunya, what you call the dunya, to the world, and they started doing a lot of crazy stuff, man.
Oh wow!
Out of their own mouth. I mean, I'm telling you, that where it used to be the community, that building, they were living in there, and they were having parties. Crazy shit was going on in there.
Oh, are you talking about You talking about 717?
717, yeah.
Yeah, I was there. That's what I was trying. That's what I was telling you last time. I was living downstairs when they was doing all that silly ass shit.
Oh, the silly ass shit, right? And then also robbing the store. Yeah, they were robbing the bookstore.
Yeah, the
They
same
was trying to. When I was on deck, they couldn't do none of that, and they know they couldn't.
So
That's
so now
that's the
they're on
other
blast.
side of it. They were coming out and looking for like trying to get money from trying to find where the money was at.
Yeah.
For the bookstore and all that. I was like, nah, y'all ain't doing none of that.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't giving y'all nothing.
You see that?
Nothing. Y'all ain't represent Baba. Y'all upstairs drinking, smoking, doing all types of shit.
I don't care you
I
ain't
know
biological
y'all
son, but you ain't representing his spirit, his character, personality, nah.
And you know what I realized on my spiritual journey, like one of the things that if I could elaborate on, I never, I was not a part of the community at that time because I just didn't know about it. But the tribe that I was a part of, you know what I'm saying, which is a little smaller version of, they weren't doing anything like you guys were doing, you know what I'm saying, the Wapians. But what I will say, what I learned about having organizations and groups of people is that you'll be on a certain wave, you feel what I'm saying, where you'll be doing things, but you'll attract a lot of like dark beings. We like the Leviathans, like those 6 ether beings, right? Yeah. Because they attracted to the light or to the darkness, I would say.
Absolutely.
So they're attracted to that. And what happens is you get a lot of underdeveloped souls that come and attract themselves to you. And then what happens is you got the person in the center or people in the center that are doing the work, but they get outshadowed by all of these other dark beings around that make it look like this is what the movement is, when that's not even what it is,
Absolutely. And they'll run around propagating that to people. Right. Because I've heard from plenty of people that's been around for years, all kinds of disagreeable. Yo, Pops will talk about da 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 da. And I'll be like, well, why would he say that? Where were you at? First of all, 99.9% of the time, it's always them by themselves with him. And I'll be like, man, come on, man. What you like, so when one of the best things I've seen in years really was on the Taharka Bay situation. One of the brothers called up there and he shared the letter that Baba wrote him back in response to a letter that he sent when Baba first got kidnapped. And that letter was so sincere. And I loved it because it was because Baba taught us it's not the pen that writes, it's the soul.
Right.
Right.
And so when he was writing and he's talking to this brother, he's saying, welcome home, son. He's telling him, like, you found your way home. Now go out there and save the people like you were saved. Go out there, build a store if there's no store in your location, because that's what we do. And he's telling them to stay close to the family. That's Baba. That's his energy. Now, can Baba get on some disagreeable? Of course, because the being that he is, has to deal with disagreeable beings. We're disagreeable and agreeable. So anybody that's sent to us has to be agreeable and disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? So people want to act like they want to people want to act like they get it, but they don't really get it. They really don't get it. Who is coming in here? I tune. Who it is? Yeah, Raul back. What up? I got two different joints with you here. All right. What's going on, girl? Speak. Talk to me. I told him, go ahead, unmute yourself. What's happening? Freestyle Friday, get it in. We almost out of here. You muted right now. You muted. Let me
Can't
see.
hear you, Pop. You muted.
Go ahead. You muted. Unmute your mic. God, unmute your mic. I told him, unmute your mic.
He's frozen now, I think.
Yeah, something going on with his internet.
Listen, that's another thing we got to get ready for. We got to put all this out here because if you think that when they shut a bunch of stuff down, you think they're going to let us still be able to communicate and bring information back and forth to each other, we got to find other means, bro.
Yeah.
We got to find other means.
They're getting ready to upload the Web 3.0. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Oh, wow.
The Web 3.0 is deep, man. They're getting ready to launch that. It's already out here.
5G, Web 3.0.
Yeah, Web 3.0.
AI.
It's in the metaverse.
Robots.
Yeah. It's the fourth industrial revolution, man. It's
Listen, man, that's what they wanted to be, but we going past that because we non-mind beings. We not.
It's like
settling for that.
We're like
you unmuted right now. Raise your volume. Raise your volume because you unmuted.
Yeah, you're gonna have to raise your volume, my brother.
Raise your volume. Hit your volume. I see you talking, but I don't hear you. But you're not muted anymore. You just muted yourself.
Now I'm muted.
Something wrong with his phone.
You gotta check your audio.
Yeah, check your audio, dog.
Settings, audio.
And settings and all that. Yeah. Check
sometimes you just gotta turn your volume button up on your phone. Like your volume button could be down, which will will affect.
But I look at that as again an alien agenda because every time you look at these movies, alien movies, they always have this high technology, this virtual reality, this AI. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the Crystal City is here. You know what I'm saying? There's something hovering over us. And it's plugging in and it's affecting everything around us. So the cities are becoming,
go
they
out
watch.
And come back in, God. Try to go out and come back in. See if it works. It might change up.
So like Neo, we able to bend that technology, bend those algorithms to our way. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question for y'all because and I like how you said that. I appreciate Brother Pharaoh. I appreciate and the elders too. I appreciate y'all for showing me the 30-day, what was it? Yesterday you were talking about the 30-day.
The visualization. Absolutely.
We're
gonna look to put it up.
I laminated it and I basically got it. I laminated
you got it. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
But I also I appreciate y'all, and I also laminated. And I asked Pharaoh in the messenger, but I don't know if you got it or not. But it basically was about this book that I laminated because I don't know if this is the original copy of the non-ball. Or if this is
no, that's not the original.
If you got like you got brothers and sisters that are rewriting a lot of the information.
That's nice though. I like
that. They're rewriting a lot of the information. Who wrote that? Who compiled it?
Let me check right now. It's
I like the graphics. The graphics. Nice. Yeah. Because the original 9-ball that I have don't have graphics
it's just
like
all
that.
Words. Yeah,
all words.
It's just all words.
Yeah. No, it's this brother right here. It's this brother.
Start with what's his first name or last name?
Is it like name? It says Kef. It's right here. It's I don't know if y'all can see the name right there. His name is Kef Ray Mur. Yeah.
Kef Ray Mur.
Yep, Kef Ray Mur. That's his name. It's the center.
Did he write it or did he just put it out? Because you know what? Because let me tell you. Because the brothers and sisters that the Afro Unu followers. That's pushing that agenda. They rewrote all the the books, right? That Afro Uno was responsible.
It's a rewritten version because I did find the original. So I printed out both of them. I got this one and I got another one on Monday, which I laminated. So I'm gonna have both copies because I didn't know there was another original.
Because what they were doing was they were editing it. They were editing it. They was adding their names as authors, and then they were taking information out. Because one of the books where the brother Nupi Ripu,
I remember him,
who they say is Afro Unu, Johnny Eugene, he literally says that he is not Afro Unu and that he is not Amanubi Akuta in the introduction, and they took that out of the book.
Oh, okay.
I had the original,
so
and
you
he
have
does
to be
says
careful
that. I have the
because as things get, it's just like I've been in situations where people that were Muslim were reading the Qurans that was all English. And in the
Yeah.
Quran that was all English, and you look at the Quran that had the Arabic and English, you'll see where they took words that were in the parentheses in the Arabic Quran that were suggestions, and inside the English Quran, there's no parentheses to show you that there's suggestions. That so they read it as if it's just that's what it was. Nah,
man. Okay,
That's
so
why it's
maybe
so
I
important
got
to know your language. Yeah.
nah, it's very important to have the, but it's cool because it's good to dissect it because it does. When you go through these actual facts, a lot of like the physical ethers, what's that? There's the physical ether, certain ether energy, where the masters they breaking down all those sciences again, but he's unpacking them and give you the detail of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you got to go back. It's all in the actual facts.
The all
Everything
expanding,
is being updated now. Everything is
being
updated.
expanded. That knowledge is being expanded.
That's right.
Is papaud.
That's
You
right.
are expanding, expand. You know, because
Absolutely.
you are expanding your mind beyond, transcendent. You're going beyond that. So it's going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the fact that you're asking a question, bro, that opens the door for everything else. Oh, the goddess, you back? What's happening, goddess? You back?
Yeah, I'm trying to sleep, but thoughts are coming. I wanted to leave you all with this.
Well, bad Nuwapi and facts. What up, girl?
I wanted to leave you all with this. We always speak often about studying, the books, etc. But we must remember about the food that we put into our bodies. This is really important.
Oh, yes.
Because food is energy. It speaks to us.
Thoughts. Yeah.
And it speaks to our body. It has energy. It has frequency. We must fast. We're supposed to be fasting for the first 3 days of every month. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We take our herbs. We have to listen to high vibrational frequencies, chant as much as you can, even if it's once a day. When I have to say, I wasn't always consistent with my chanting, but when I started to chant again, I started off with just chanting once a day. And then I was consistent with that. And now I'm like chanting twice a day. And I also chant whenever I connect with the brother on his live. I also chant at the same time that when he's chanting. So I just wanted to leave you all with this because this is really, really, really important. Raising our frequency is paramount. It's what Bubba has been talking about for years. Right. And we miss the smallest things that people overlook is what is most important. And it's going to help you raise your frequency. So I say that because of the brother Atumreye, or I obviously I don't know you, but Rahul Bat, but I just want to remind you, we focus on the information, but more importantly, you have to look after your vessel, your own personal vessel, because your mind, your soul, all of those things, this is what is going to get you through these times. It's not going to be listening to any all of the tahakas and the sun. That's not it. That's not it.
Right? You got to be careful.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Food is energy, food is frequency, and we have to be careful what we put into our bodies and also what we listen to, because this is why I really appreciate the brother and his Nefera sent our apologies, Nadum. Nefera sent is because of the energy that they give to the tribe. This is what is important. It's the energy, it's the frequency, and that is what I gravitate towards. The frequency is high vibrational. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be where there's lots of gossip and slander. That's not where you want to be around. You don't want to be around that. So I just wanted to leave the Muisa with that, and
appreciate you.
Nah, we appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you too, so very, very much. So I'm gonna leave now for sure.
All right, enjoy your sleep. Hey, yo, Nuwapi, in fact, stop starting trouble. Come back tomorrow. When we 100 deep. When I got the whole clan with me, the RZA, the Jizza, ODB, Inspector Deck, you go. But I got the whole
the woo sabat.
Come back tomorrow with listen, Nuwapi, in fact, you should right now is not the time for that. The people that are attacking us are attacking the doctrine and the master on a whole. They don't care what part you holding on to, nigga. They don't care about none of that. So if you want to read those books,
tracking the core.
Read those books, brother. I don't care about that. What you eat don't make me, it's like if that's where you at, you vibrating on God, then vibrate there. But
Sure.
that's not where we at. We'll go back and we'll pick and choose. Cause look, I read everything, bro. I still I was reading the Book of Light. I'm translating the Book of Light, updating the language and the prayers for myself. I'm reading the marriage ceremony. Why? Because my wife and I both are ordained ministers. So
nice. See, that's using the doctrine. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So we got brothers and sisters that we married, that we got scheduled to, So listen, you got to be a mastermind. Stop putting yourself in this box, pigeonholing yourself, brother. That's all I'm saying.
Expand.
Kafuz, you coming in? What's up? Kafuz, stop getting on it with that Obama phone, beloved.
Man, it's like every time I press a button, it go right back to the beginning. I'm like, for real, really. Well, what I wanted to tell you, bro, was that this matters. You know what I mean? Opening up a forum so that we can all talk and communicate.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, like where I'm at right now. Sometimes I got people. There's say beings out here, but at the same time, I feel like I get my spiritual on Pittsburgh.
Okay.
PA. And I feel, but when I get on here, I feel like I'm getting my boost, my charge to push, be a little bit stronger in, my endeavors and whatnot. So I wanted to let you know that, you know what I mean? You and the sister, y'all doing good work with this.
Tag. Listen, it's a service.
I won't waste my time.
Time is precious. We don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have no time. And this is, my wife, when we talking, because we grew up in the tabernacles, Mount Vernon, Brooklyn, so it's like we feel after we go through the class, it feel like we've been at the bookstore all day.
That's exactly it. That's exactly how it feels.
It feel like that energy transferring back and forth, those bills, the contract, man. It's like that's how we want to be. We want to feel like that every day. And we got to protect ourselves out, and that's how we protect ourselves. We get re-tuned by building with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So we happy that we can help and add on, God, and we appreciate it. We put the energy out there. I said in the song, I said you go to my website, ThyroRising.com. I got my music there, and
I'm gonna check that out.
The Dear Baba song, ThyroRising.com right here. I did Dear Baba, the Tupac. I did the Dear Mama over. Called Dear Baba. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is
I like the two.
And we never, though I can never pay you back, my plan is to show you that I overstand, that you are appreciated. This is my letter to the master. And this is the one of those actions that we do to show that, you appreciate it. Baba said, get out there and save souls, talk to the people, deal with the people.
Pharaoh, what's so interesting? And shout out to the sister in the UK about the high frequencies is that by you doing that, you just activated some of your currency inside of you, that appreciation. When you have appreciation like that, you know what I'm saying? It opens you up. You know what I'm saying? That's the heart energy center. And right there, that's aligning you. And that's the sacrifice, and that's the power, the exposure that this man manifests in front of us, that we're able to have these certain type of feelings.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like,
that aligns us with those energies, That's interesting, man. And yes, food, we always had a dietary law. Oh, I don't know where it went, but we always had a dietary law.
Dr. Sebi?
No, Dr. Sebi was a student. I'm sorry.
He said he doesn't want to give us a diet because he know we're going to break it. He said I remember that. He gave us, he said how to eat to live, part 1 and 2.
That's true. That's true because as Ansar, we had a certain specific diet, right? And we didn't front no fried food. But one day Baba brought fried chicken. You should have seen the brothers under the tent, bro. And then he was looking around like, look at this. But you brought the chicken. He says, that was a test, man.
Whatever. Just pass the hot sauce.
I was like, man. Yeah, he had ability. He always tested us in certain things.
Hey, the Wapian facts, man. I told you, come back tomorrow so we can build. Get all your questions together and come back tomorrow when the call of God is here, man. He at the end of this chain. You coming here trying to poke, you want to get the bees acting up. I told you there. Can you hear me?
Oh, back.
There
All right,
we
you
Raul
go.
back.
Raul
You
back,
good now? What's
finally.
going on, God?
Hey,
I thought attack.
I've been trying to figure this stuff out. I ain't never been here before. Ain't never been able to do this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you here now, family.
He,
I'm speaking to the whole Yeshua.
Okay. Talk to us.
Wherever you at,
Wherever we at.
wherever you at.
Uh-huh.
Street corners, Barbados,
Whatever.
Jamaica, Brooklyn,
Let's go.
Queens,
Let's go.
Virginia, wherever you are.
Charlotte.
Took Zama or Zama to Azuyata. I love all of you people.
All right, beloved. I shook.
Bet.
Y'all remember Tamaray? Tamara, right? Y'all remember that? You go out there, there was nothing else to do but to just, hey, Bill.
Hey, what's up,
Got
y'all?
a bill all
That's
day.
what you do. I mean, you move your family down there. You might have been heard from whatever segment you was at, Philadelphia, Chicago, or wherever you from. You came and Baba either he reached out to you personally or you heard it through the grapevine. Your heart, your mama, your daddy, whoever, your life situation, motherfucker beat you up, excuse my language, made you think, and you went home. And I ain't gonna stunt, it will sound religious in the sense because y'all Shema, or you know what I mean? God
Yeah. That's real.
taught us in many ways, right? That like when I remember being a child, 19 years old, and when I seen my father's face, I was like, wow, woo, who is this? You know what I mean? And
Yep.
all my life, I was raised in a certain presidential or a certain elective or a certain situation or whatever we call it. In our English and Lahaj language that we speak, which is basically English as Amanumu speak. You know, I respect the page where he speak about the language. And so be it. But we all are familiar.
We better be. We better be familiar. We better get familiar now.
We are familiar simply for the fact that we are standing here on this page right now with you. Right now. I've been waiting for you, and I told you, Zamal, I seen you a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm popped up here and there.
You and CeeLo's and Amanu and everybody for years. And it's just so funky that Tahaka, I ain't gonna stunt. I gotta give him his props because he's on a whole nother scale, right? I think I might have been
I
Facebook.
like what he did with Jacob. He dug in his ass.
You
Excuse
know,
my language. He dug in his butt.
hold on. Where the God at? Who said something?
He said he liked what he did with Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, well, Jacob pulled himself out the coat.
Yeah, he did.
He took his fur off. That nigga naked. He's fronting on his own fucking self. In actuality, that's help to the community. And I'm being honest. I do apologize for being so mean. I'm mean. Every block, every corner, California, wherever. I don't care. I rock how I rock.
Okay, God.
You hear me? And,
Sure.
and it's so majestic. Like your mate was talking to me earlier about the move. Like I remember when we was talking about, me and my best friend was talking about how the move from New York and this, that, and the other. And he was saying what he was saying. And this is my best friend from childhood. Back in the day, we read the Leviathan. We was reading the books, and we said, "Nah, we gonna stop. It's only about the doctrine. Fuck what people say." Excuse my language.
No, you in rare form tonight, God.
We not worried about what people say or doctrines or your opinion or your am and all that. You know what I mean? I would love to learn the language. You know what I mean? Well, I haven't took my time. I'm secluded.
It's all right. A lot of us, all of us, need to practice more of the language, beloved. So guess what? We want to get to a point where we have these forums in the language. Jawef Palahaj. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we want to get to. So we can talk whatever we want to talk, and ain't nobody gonna know but us.
For years, I didn't want to speak because I don't have books. But the brother Silos explained to me something. And he's been explaining me something because I took the Silos for years. I mean, for a couple of years, so to be. And I love my brothers in Nupu.org because rest in peace to my brother, Zed. You know what I mean? And I never even studied by him. Well, I don't know if I did or not because I can't remember. Because I was in the train stations in New York. And I made a whole bunch of music. And I put books in Tupac hand. You know what I mean? And I've been around. And I made a whole bunch of music. And I've been walking. And I love my father to death.
Well, we glad you back. You know, we back in the whip, God. This is the time. This is the time.
I'm not back. No disrespect, Jamal. I'm not back. I've been here.
Okay, this is the time to stand up. This is the time, God. That's what we here. We coming together and we standing up in front of the world.
Mahatwi, where you at? Mahatwi, you in the building? Where you at, Jamal?
Now, Mahatwi is in Barbados, where we all about to go, because I'm about to get out of here.
That's my love. But
yeah, he gonna be on tomorrow. Hopefully Mahatwi come on tomorrow, and he come on Super. Listen, go back tomorrow. Super Cyber Saturdays. Nwabi and Facts gonna be asking us all the questions from the old books. He gonna want all the questions. He want all the questions from the old books. He was asking about Tahuti as a serpent in the garden. Yeah, come through. Nwabi and Facts.
Serpent in the garden.
You ain't getting on here tonight.
Hold on.
We shutting off. You get on here tonight.
Nah, the serpent in the garden.
Listen, family. I'm about to shut it down. We about to go. Let me give everybody they love. I appreciate y'all. I told you I got to work on it overnight. I ain't even getting no sleep tonight. So I got bad things to do. So I got to get out of here. My wife in there beef with me right now. So she coming here showing y'all the smiley face.
I do apologize for coming out so late and everything.
God.
Word up.
Listen, I knew Hasia, Wadu, I appreciate you. Goodbye, Ashuk Israel. Right there, I see you. Goodbye, Ashuk. LL, Ashuk. Danica, Ashuk, Mama. Ashuk, Goddess. I appreciate you. George Pistol, Ashuk. Kahil Low. Yes, the God right there. Ashuk Ghost. Okay. Ashuk Divine Love, man. Unconditional love to you, man. What I do to the family. Federlucci, George Pistol again. All the family that's joining us, that's spending the time to build with us. Patah. Oh, I didn't even know you was there, Patah Initiative. What's going on, family? Tawu for y'all being here. Mahatwi. Tomorrow, Mahatwi. I gotta go. I'm getting cussed out. I ain't sleeping on the couch. It ain't happening.
It's got me in the doghouse.
Okay.
It ain't happening. I ain't sleeping on the couch.
Yes, enjoy your anniversary. Enjoy your life, God. Please.
Hey, happy anniversary.
This is our life right here, God. I appreciate y'all with the happy anniversaries. Listen, it's about just keeping moving, man. Keep pushing. The brother Ronald, Wadu, and I shook to you, Mahatwi, my brother Kafuz, Amunet, Raul back, Goddess Amunet, Raul back, and Wadu, because we out, right? Baton Initiative. And the Goddess, Miss Infinity, we appreciate you, sis. Stopping in, building with us, Nefericent, Wappy and Facts is always a blessing because you're gonna bring us all that old school stuff.
And Silos, if you in the building,
God,
if you in the building,
like
play the bongos, brother, when we on the tour. You hear me? That would be a nice thing. If he play his music.
Mark, I'm doing my shout outs. We talking about you come in.
All right.
Sorry.
Yes, man.
I'm trying to get hands. Put on. I'm trying to get hands. Put it.
I'm out. I do.
Blink twice. Blink twice.
Help me. Listen, family, I appreciate y'all for joining me. You know what I mean? Compare the Shua C, Atum Reba, Atum Tat, Uakir, the brother Atum that just left, the brother Halif that joined in a little earlier, Kafuz, Mahatri that's trying to debo and get up in here right now on the 19th hour. We appreciate y'all. Nwapi and Facts that's, you know what I'm saying, that's kicking the door, waving the fofo, just waving his holy tablets at everybody, you know. We appreciate you, God. You know, come back tomorrow and we gonna get to the bottom of this. Where Petty at? Petty, make sure you come through tomorrow so we get to the bottom of this. The brother needs some answers. We not playing. So, like I say all the time, listen, it's our time. And if not now, then when? If not us, then who? And if not this Wu Sabat, then what, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Let's come together. Let's make this happen, God. We the tools. The master say we the saviors. He said we the doctors. He said it's us that got to do this. We the cure for this sick world. Let's get out there, you know. But like we built today, it start with us. We got to cure ourselves first, and then get out there and cure everybody else. So I appreciate y'all. Tawakum, we saw, and Gabut Wu Ashuk, Gabat Wu Ashuk, with peace and divine unconditional love to everybody in earshot and eyeshot of the God. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.
Wadu,
family.
Wadu.